We are ready to go. Andrew Embley is with us. Dale Lewis is with us in the specials. Lockie Reed's helping me call the game. Tanya Armstrong is at ground level. The second elimination final. Here's Lockie Reed on Triple M footy.
For McDonald's, Triple M does rock finals footy. And we're bouncing it in the middle. Giles tried to get the tap away. Ball bounces in the direction of Liberatore. He's wrapped up in a tackle. The youngster gets amongst the action straight away. Umpire says, give it to me. We'll ball it up metres away from the centre circles.
Liam Pickham onto Andrew Gaff. Going to shut down their big, hardest runner for the West Coast.
Went straight to him, put a big bump on early. Liberatore, big bump on Pritis.
It was a good tap from Roughhead. The ball travels towards centre forward for the Bulldogs. Gathering it is Hunter. Hands it off to Boyd. Boyd's kick towards the forward 50. Travels and just bounces inside the boundary line. We'll have a throw in. No score on the board. 34 seconds gone in this first elimination final. Thursday night footy.
A couple of those matchups again, Louis.
Liam Pickham's gone to Gaff and McGovern is on board. Boyd's got a big job to do back there.
See if that Pickham one works. That'll help big time the Western Bulldogs. Boundary throw in, half forward for them. Kicking to the right of screen as you'd watch it. Bonampally off the ground. Gave it on to Lockie Hunter. Drilling shot at goal. 30 out. Missed. Minor score. Easy goal by his standards. Missed. Dogs get the first score behind here.
And I reckon the Bont may have Hutchings for company as well in a West Coast tag.
Hamlin's gone to Josh Kennedy, the Coleman medalist, and Morris has got Jack Darling. Play on.
The 200 gamer to kick it out for the West Coast Eagles, and Hearn goes to the far side, off the ground, looking for the tall timber. Darling can't take the mark, down on the ground and picked up by Dixon. He'll kick inside 50. Man on his own is Butler for West Coast. Defensive half of the ground goes by hand to McGovern. He'll go short the centre half back. It'll bounce awkwardly for Hutchings. Gathered the footy by hand to Butler, then to Shepherd. Through the middle of the ground they go. Here's Darling. Goes out towards the wing. Schofield gathers lots of handballs. They've moved it up towards right half forward. Leclerc on the end of it. He's kicked inside 50. The players fell over. Ball 35 out. Hill gathers. Gives it to Cripps. Caught in a tackle. 45 outs. And we'll have a ball up.
Yeah, lucky to survive there. Cripps took him on.
Yeah, he tried to slide down in the tackle. Umpire didn't buy it, but gee, how was just the get out? Chain of handballs, loose man over the top.
First entry inside 50 West Coast. A little shallow one. Kick around the corner, goes back inside 50. Kennedy got a bad bounce, banged onto it. Easton Wood banged him over the line, got rid of the handball. Thought about conceding there for a moment. The Dogs picked up by Boyd. Deep in defence, under enormous West Coast pressure here at the moment, the Western Bulldogs. Dalhouse tried to win it. Bounce favoured Hearn. Gave it off to McGovern. Little inching ball around the corner. Dogs have got some numbers in defence. Do it well. They all converge on the ball together.
Picken gathers, kicks into the centre half back position. Dixon's taken the mark, comes out towards the wing. They certainly are. Cordy on the end of that, kicks it up towards the top of the 50. Standing there's Boyd, got a man running for him. Can he just chip it over the top? He does, but it was a high one. Good pressure came from Schofield. Who's on Stringer? Play on, said the umpire. Stringer gathers it again. He's 15 metres out, brought down in a tackle. We'll have a ball up.
Stringer was unlucky. He looked like chopping to the arms from line. It was a good press from Schofield. Look at Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay, chopping the arms. Stringer should have got a free kick.
Absolutely. I wondered why he didn't mark it. He ripped one arm out of him, reefed it away. Eagles have got away with one there. Here's an opportunity now. Dalhouse on the boundary, kick around the corner. Trying to stop it here, the West Coast Eagles. Umpire calls play on. Spills, goes, Shuey. Little handball, got it away here, the Eagles. Still under high pressure. Up they go, Morris over the top. Leclerc, front and centre, got a little kick out of the back. But it's going to come back. Dogs are everywhere. Briggs, handball backwards now. Gave it off to Hamling, back to Briggs. Goes inside 50 without a lot of thought or accuracy. Ball knocked to the boundary. We'll throw it in. 45 metres out from the Dogs' goal. They lead by a point.
Well, it was wonderful transition from the Dogs. We saw Pickens kick a really good kick into the corridor. That's how you can get the West Coast Eagles out the back, by taking the corridor on, quick handball, run and carry, break the lines.
Andrew Embley for Shell v Power. Ball thrown back in. Giles gets the tap down, but gathering it is Liberatore, doing well. Gives it to Stringer. Stringer gives it off a hand pass to Roughhead from 45. He's off the right of the boots and through for a final score.
He wanted it back and he should have got it back.
He looks sharp, Louis.
No, absolutely. Taking the game on, and Dogs look sharp, BT.
The Doggies are just two behinds. 4 minutes gone in this first term.
So the Eagles from full-back. This is the first hush in the game. Nice delivery, finds Hutchings. Just defensive 50. He goes really wide, and out there finds Giles. Plays on with a handball to Pritis. Pritis over the top here to Maston. It ends with Yo. Yo, a little left foot run down the line to Lacroix. Lacroix had a difficult ball to trap, and Dale Morris smothers the ball over the line, out of bounds, half forward for West Coast Eagles.
Terrific Dale Morris. He left Kennedy, pressed up on Lacroix. He had to smother the football because Kennedy was all by himself in the forward 50. Terrific play.
Bulldogs by 2 points. 5 gone in the first term. Ball thrown back in. Roughhead from behind. Pritis wrapped up in a good tackle by Jong. Comes out the back to Picken. He hand passes into space. Beautiful hand pass to Hunter. He can kick it forward. Beautifully positioned is Roughhead. Can he take it from behind? He does. Got a man running. Past is Dixon. Dixon will chip it out in front of Smith. It bounces. It went too far. Went through for a minor score. It was all set up for a 6-pointer. And the Doggies are just 3 behind. Eagles yet to score. 5.5 gone.
Oh, transition red hot, just a releasing handball over the top, and again, Embers through the guts, opening West Coast up on the rebound slingshot.
Clearance is 5-1 in favour of the Dogs. Contested football 10-6 in favour of the Dogs.
3 behinds they are on the National Crime Check scoreboard here, the Dogs. Eagles yet to score. Dogs will get another look here. Caleb Daniel it is with the free kick. About 65 metres out from the Dogs' goal. They do look sharp except for the finishing skills at the moment. Caleb Daniel looking to get it in high. Down there is Roughhead. All the big boys are there. Pack forms. Up went Schofield. Knocked it down. Nice little knock it was. Gaff involved in the handball chain there at the moment. And mattered about 3. Lyset. Fast hands as well. Ends with Gaff. Little left foot kick along the ground. Found Sheed. Inside slicing handball. In trouble here is Cripps. Plays on. Goes down the line. Partial smother by Suckling was good. Right in front of the Western Bulldogs interchange bench. We'll have a boundary throw in.
Bit like the West Coast, trying to run it out, keep the ball in motion, but it's a double-edged sword. If you don't hit your targets and don't be clean, turnovers can happen.
Dogs still by 3 as the ball gets tapped out. Good tackle laid on him by Dalhouse, brings him to ground. Umpire Roseberry says, give it to me, we'll ball it up. We're on the wing, members' side here at Domain Stadium. He throws it into the air quickly. Third man up was by the Bulldogs, but it went to Sheed. Sheed kicks it in the direction of Kennedy. First chance to try and get touch on football was punched away from him. Hunter gathers to Hamling, and Hamling goes way back inside his defensive 50. And the Dogs will just ease their way out of defence now, but it's a poor kick.
Yeah, Briggs it was. Turned it over. Kicked it straight to Kennedy. Kennedy was waiting at the defensive 50. And he's marked at 50 out.
Well, that's disappointing for the Dogs because the last one-on-one contest at Kennedy, Hamling did really well to put a good spoil on Kennedy. And unfortunately for the Dogs now, Briggs has turned the football over. And for all the play that the Dogs have had, an opportunity for the Coleman medalist to go back from just outside 50.
And he has kicked accurately this year. 80 goals. This one from 53 metres out. Distance won't be a problem. Looks pretty good. A hoiking ball. Kennedy gets the first goal of the second elimination final here for the West Coast Eagles. 1 straight. Bulldogs 3 behinds on the Triple M National Crime Check scoreboard.
Yeah, 25 goals in his last 6 games, and he has flushed that BT. Outside 50, cleared into the crowd. Fantastic work. Dogs will be dirty on themselves. Hamlin didn't need to retreat all the way back. Didn't need to go to Biggs. Had a man on out here in Dalhouse. They should have kept their cool and just tried to chip along the boundary, but they wanted to get back and get around. And as West Coast can do, you get deep inside your own defensive 50. They squeeze up and they ask the question. They give you a little bit of sneaky room. Biggs tried to take it. Got it off the inside of the instep and straight down Kennedy's throat.
Louis doing his bit for Shell V-Power, designed to improve performance. There's a 3-point lead for West Coast. We've gone nearly 9 minutes now in this first term. Bounce to the footy, a good one, and a perfect tap down to Shuey. Runs away, kicks inside, attacking 50. Kennedy out in front, gathers. What will he do? Tries to get away the hand pass, somehow gets away from the tackler. Gives it back to Darling. They're going backwards, 70 out from goal. The kick inside 50, Yo from behind. He can't take the mark. Tries to butter up, then leaves it for Pritis. Pritis is wrapped in a tackle, and another ball up. 45 out now from West Coast's goal.
Wonderful set of bounce clearance from the West Coast Eagles. Scott Lycett, Luke Shuey coming through. He had a terrific year. Luke Shuey averaging 29 disposals in career best form.
Lycett knocked down, couldn't handle it there. Dunkley knocked it back to the middle of the ground. Plenty of Eagles here to bang it back inside 50. A little pushed under the ball there by Morris. Did well, the defender. Ball hits the deck in front. Dangerous spot. Sheed went without it. Kennedy picked it up, had a ping. Kicked it out of bounds on the full in the end. So this will be a Dogs free in the pocket. And I think it'll be Caleb Daniel to take the free kick.
I reckon the Dogs got to be wary of kicking out of stoppage, Embers. Big numbers behind the footy. Got to go sideways or got to hit out with hands.
So they're hemmed in here. Eagles are screwing them tight. Caleb Daniel has to try and thread the needle. It's always a risky kick. Spoiled by Darling. Gathered by Darling. Darling lets it rip from 50 out. Sensational steal. Sensational goal. Eagles have kicked 2 in a minute. 2 straight. Dogs, 3 behinds. National Crime Check scoreboard.
Well, you can see the Dogs' mindset in their defensive 50 at the moment. They don't want to go long to a contest. They want to hit short targets. But the problem with that is if you don't hit your targets and the Eagles' pressure comes, they force you into the turnover. We see 2 turnovers from the Dogs in their defensive 50, and the Eagles have been able to make them pay.
So you reckon sometimes you just got to cop it sweet, go long down the line, get a fist, get it out of play, start again, buy a bit of territory. But that is such a risky kick. They press up so hard, all the boys inside the centre forward line. Nowhere to move there, bad choice.
The Eagles 2 straight, the Dogs just 3 behinds on the Triple M National Crime Check scoreboard. We're back in the middle again, Lysett first hands to it, Liberatore working hard, but once again Shuey comes out with it, goes back by hand to Schofield to the half back line to Shepherd, little fumble from the hand pass of Shepherd to Wellingham, but comes back to Shepherd. He also goes back, Barris with it. Kicks inside his defensive 50, and McGovern's taken the mark. Can go short to Shuey. It's a dangerous kick though. Jumping over the top was Dixon. Nearly gave away a free kick. Shuey good enough to just paddle it in the direction of Gaff, who finds Schofield, gets out of trouble by hand, and hand passes it back to McGovern.
Just looking a little small all of a sudden, the Dogs aren't they? Liberatore intercepts 55 out. Short kick, not the 15 to Daniel. He's told to go. 40 metres, horrible kick by Daniel. Went along the ground, picked up. Handball comes in there to Bontempelli. He was tackled to the ground. Umpire calls play on. Liberatore got it out to Hunter. Hunter over the top, snap from the boundary line there. McRae it was, and it's been marked by the Eagles in the opposite back pocket.
Jeremy McGovern really lucky there. A couple of really poor kicks in his defensive 50. They've turned it over again here, the Eagles.
Oh, that's a terrible kick from Sheed. Went to one of the tallest men on the ground in Boyd. And Boyd, for the Western Bulldogs, takes it right on the 50. Trail by 9.
Find a way to get the Bont. Just 1 touch so far for Hardjaka, Marcus Bontempelli.
So Boyd has it. We spoke pre-game about the importance of him getting amongst the goals. He can launch the Doggies into this elimination final. Decides to go short to one of the shortest men on the ground. It was punched away from Daniel. Gathered by Marston. He'll kick out to half-back. Pressure was on Kennedy. 2 against 1 in favour of the Bulldogs. Into the hands of Hunter. He kicks inside 50. Picken. Juggled. Mark takes it. And he'll go back and kick from 40 metres out in the end. The Boyd kick, not a great option, but it might pay off in the end with Picken a chance to kick a goal.
Tommy Boyd's a happy man right now. I don't know what is going through his mind. Don't forget the money you're on. You're a forward, you're a goal kicker. Go back and kick a goal. Don't hand off, take responsibility.
One job, Louis.
Jeez. This is a big kick. They've got to get themselves on the scoreboard.
He's right in front. Liam Picken runs into 40. Kicks towards goal, straight away celebrating, and the Doggies have got their first goal of the evening. They're 1-3-9, they trail West Coast 2 straight 12 on the Triple M National Crime Check scoreboard. Police checks fast and 100% online.
Very good settler there, Embers. But again, Tommy Boyd, just got to take a moment, take a breath. You're in a game of footy, you're up there to be the spearhead. You take that responsibility, and I'd like to see a senior player or two get around him now and just say, come on, mate.
And 50's well within his range.
Oh, with ease. And it was such a big kick. They got really lucky. And what's unusual, a couple of decision-making and skill errors coming out of the back half of the Eagles. So they're on at the moment from a defensive point of view, the Dogs.
Yeah, 8 inside 50s to 5 in favour of the Bulldogs. Their heat's been good. Tackles 11-3 in favour of the Bulldogs. So they're doing everything right in that goal. They deserve that goal because they've started this game well.
Shell V-Power special comments. Shell V-Power designed to improve performance. That was the voice of Andrew Embley. Sitting alongside him, Dale Lewis. Back in the middle of the ground we go. Ball up in the middle there. Opportunity for Giles. Didn't really knock it down to anyone in particular. So the Dogs go forward with the footy. Libba ran underneath it but knocked it down to McRae. He slipped over. And a little handball out the back to Hunter, who's playing quite well so far. That's his 3rd inside 50 entry already. High ball on the head of Dunkley. Up they go. Knocked down. Off hands it comes. Picked up by Picken. Right on the boundary line. Got the handball back inside. Liberatore again. He had to get rid of it quickly. The Eagles' pressure was high. And they'll force the ball up deep in the forward pocket here for the Western Bulldogs.
Good signs for the Western Bulldogs. Liberatore started forward, and that footy that went inside forward 50. Had separation straight away on Sherrod Wellingham. So good speed.
Here's Stringer, tight against the boundary. That would have been a super goal. He's kicked it into the goal post, though, and it's a minor score for Bob Jane T-Mart's Tanya Armstrong.
Yes, Marcus Bontempelli just taking a break and closely followed to the boundary by Mark Hutchings, who's tagging him tonight.
The Eagles 2 straight 12. The Dogs 1-4-10, 14 and a half gone in this first term.
Pretty handy first touch by the package, almost a miracle goal.
Yeah, it was. Bob Jane T-Mart's down there, thanks to Tanya. In a real good position to watch this one. Lacroix off hands. Hunter. Do they get it again? The Dogs. This time Briggs again. Around the corner. High footy. Didn't get a lot of journey on it. Up they go, the Eagles. They need to get this one out of bounds. They don't. It's kept alive. Little handball back inside. Comes in there to Jong. Handball Dalhouse on to Caleb Daniel. He sends a mongrel forward. Bound. Goal. Eagles should have got it out of bounds. Dogs kept it alive. Caleb Daniel kicks the second goal for the Dogs. And they are 2-4-16, leading the Eagles 2 straight 12 on the Triple M National Crime Check scoreboard.
Pretty slick, Embers. As BT called it, should have been killed and dead, but just the numbers in it and just the reflex give by the Doggies. Bit lucky in the end to kick, but got it into a dangerous spot in the corridor.
Well, they're a high handballing team. We know that, the Dogs. But they were just slick, as you mentioned, and in close. They were really tight. Eagles couldn't put any pressure on them whatsoever. They got through, and Daniel, terrific goal.
Chelsea Power looking after Embers and Louis this evening. It's 2-4-16 plays 2 straight 12. It's the Dogs by 4 points and 2 goals in 2 minutes for the visitors. Roughhead in the ruck. Tried to get the tap down, but Prittis working harder. He gets it off to Giles. Caught in a brilliant tackle. Dunkley tried to steal it from him. In the end, his hand pass went straight back to Prittis, who finds Hutchings. Hutchings kicks forward. Good mark on the lead. Darling came down with it. Right half forward. Jack Darling too far out to score. They trail by 4. The West Coast Eagles decides to kick inside 50. On the lead was Kennedy. Pressure was good though. And Morris has taken the mark tight against the boundary line. He takes it 45, maybe 40 around from the Bulldogs' goal. They lead by 4.
So Morris just sends it down the line. This is the kick that Embers was talking about. This is the one the Eagles want you to make to a contest. And lucky to escape Daniel. Handball to Suckling. Suckling was going to go back where it came from, but he inches the ball across to the other side of the ground, and they try and sneak their way out here. Johannesson was on. They failed to get it to him. I think it was Cordy. Cordy now goes to the edge of the square. Dangerous kick inside 50. Once again to the contest. Exactly what the Eagles want. At the back there was Dixon. Got the little handball away. Briggs was caught. Incorrect disposal. Free kick goes away as Shuey at half forward.
He plays on quickly, BT. Kicks inside 50. Kennedy hustling and bustling, trying to take the mark. Ball fisted through well by the Bulldogs for a rush behind. And they're 2-1-13 West Coast, and the Doggies 2-4-16, 17 and a half gone in this first term. That's on the Triple M National Crime Check scoreboards.
So what, BT, it's Russian roulette. That kick by the Dogs coming out, trying to pinpoint someone inside this web. Difficult to do.
Here it is again. Hamling just sends it high. Look at this. Giles is there. Stringer had to go to the spoil. Somehow they got away with it. Little handball back to Picken. Caught, dragged forward in the tackle. Umpire said play on. Dogs are let off there. Dalhouse thought he was under more pressure than he was. Schofield comes in. Dalhouse went and got it. Smith, Stringer, all handballs. Stringer long handball to Picken. Picken goes inside 50. Dixon's got over the back with Wellingham. And Dixon's marked 25 metres out on a 45-degree angle. And Dixon will line up for the Dogs 3rd in a row.
See a bit of slingshot happening here. Dalhouse, how good.
So good.
Felt the pressure, didn't get the hands correct, went and won the hard footy again, and the pick and kick was outstanding. Said to Dixon, get on your bike, get back inside 50, I'll hit it to space.
Can't be that lucky every time with the high kick out, though, can they?
And they've gone to the middle of the ground. Quite a dangerous long kick to the corridor. They don't want to go long down the line, so but they got out the back that particular time. It was good play by the Dogs.
Luck's been on their side a little. Here is Dixon. You can hear the crowd. Kick of 30 metres at the most. He's pretty straight and he gets it. Dogs kick 3 in a row. 3-4-22 to the Eagles 2-1-13 here on the National Crime Check scoreboard. Police checks fast and 100% online. Here's Dale Lewis and Andrew Embley.
Embers, you can't keep doing that, as BT called it. It's risk v reward. Yeah, it's high risk. You get out the back every now and then, but They got lucky. And they've got to find a way to be able to get out of that back half, to beat that simple thing, win the contested footy in the first place, deny the deep entry and try and work your way around. Like to see them just play a little bit of tempo, but to their credit, all they want to do is go fast at the moment.
Well, they started the game extremely well. They deserve to have the lead that they've had. The 2 goals that they've conceded have been mistakes in their defensive 50. So when you take that into consideration, they've kicked 3 goals. They've been in control of this game for mine, the Dogs, and they're getting the Eagles out of the back because they are playing really attacking football.
3 goals in a little over 5 minutes. The Doggies are going all right, but out of the middle it's West Coast. Shuey by hand to Gaff, kicks inside 50. Here comes Josh Kennedy, couldn't take the mark. In fact, it was Darling. Brought the ground was Lysett. Ball bobbling around, 45 out from the Eagles' goal. Bontempelli throws himself at the footy. It's not going anywhere, and we'll have a ball up. 45 out. It's the Doggies 3-4-22. West Coast 2-1-13. 20 gone in the first term at Domain.
Dogs by 9. No impact from Bontempelli yet, which is interesting. Little one here. Lysett tries to push the ball through like a D9, and he's not successful. We'll have a ball up. Now, the ball up is 40 metres out, directly in front of West Coast goal.
West Coast been reluctant to tag this year. Hutchins did a really good job on Sam Mitchell a few weeks ago, and he's got the job on Bontempelli tonight.
Dogs by 9 points. Last to get off the ground is Roughhead.
And the Bont, just the 2 hard yackers, 2 BT, kicking a handball so far.
Okay, been very quiet indeed. Ball off hands. Here's Caleb Daniel. Couldn't win it out. Eagles have got some numbers here. Cordy went and got it. Had to get rid of it. Slung in the tackle there. He was pretty lucky to get away with an ineffective handball there. Caleb Daniel got it to Smith.
Brilliant.
Fast hands, Jong. Gee, it was good. Really good. Dalhouse been impressive. Gave it on to Suckling on his wrong right side. So he goes for the left foot slider. Torpedo up to Picken. He marks. Got some attention from Schofield. Picken on fire here at the moment. 65 metres out from the Dogs' goal. Goes in short. Knocked out of the way. Umpire calls play on. Liberatore. Snap around the body. Got it. 4 in a row for the Dogs. Absolutely on fire at Domain Stadium in this second elimination final. And they lead it by 15 points, the Dogs.
Well, Liam Picken, you called it, BT, on fire. Half a dozen touches, got a goal, couple of score assists, beating everything. What about Suckling? Wrong side for a lefty. So what do? Just hit a lazy, wobbly torp. Send it towards half forward. Geez, they're backing themselves in.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's coming off.
I haven't seen the Eagles back 6 get caught out of position like this so far this year. It's been quick ball movement by the Dogs. They want to attack the corridor really quickly. They've been slick with their handballs, and they're getting the Eagles defenders out the back at the moment.
And serving it up too, and serving it up on the way back once they got back to the centre, getting stuck into them big time.
Yeah, Louis here as well. Shell V-Power for McDonald's Triple M Rocks finals footy. Roughhead again, the 2-hander, but it went straight to Lysett, his opposing ruckman. Hutchins couldn't pick it up, then he was dragged off the footy, and we'll get the free kick. Libba was away too. He plays on quickly to Gaff. Through the centre circle he goes, kicks inside 50. Plenty of numbers back for the Dogs. There's a bit of holding on. The umpire's seen it. Little push out. It'll go the Western Bulldogs'
Against
way.
Josh Hill. Silly by Josh Hill.
Wood will gather it, Easton Wood. And they'll work it down this broadcast side. The long kick in the direction of Dalhouse. Wellingham, the man in front. He couldn't take the mark. Pritis did well. Got away the hand pass to Gaff. He goes to the feet of Wellingham, who gets it on the left. Kicks it inside 50 again. Terrific mark. The Frenchman playing like a tall timber inside 50 against Wood. We'll go back and try and kick it from 35 metres out on the angle.
Yeah, repeat inside 50s, and I reckon Easton Wood slipped just as he was going to jump and assist here. I reckon he had Lacroix covered. The Frenchman stood tall, but yeah, Wood went skating by. Didn't get his purchase when he went to get up. Missed everything. A little unlucky.
It's had a roller coaster season. Mark Lacroix had some good games, had some real average ones. Needs to turn it on in the finals. From 35, kicks towards goal and misses to the left-hand side. He was running away straight after he kicked it. He knew it. 4-4-28, the Dogs. The Eagles 2-2-14, 23 and a half gone.
I reckon he was 2 yards into a celebration there, Locke. I think you're being kind. The Frenchie.
Pretty reliable, Mark Lacroix. So the Dogs play on from fullback. Boyd, the All-Australian. How about that, hey, at his age? Almost gone about 3 years ago, and here he is now an All-Australian. Good mark taken here by Roughhead. Point to the square at half-back. Looks this way, that away. Decides to do nothing. Yo mans the mark and once again forced him to kick to the high contest inside the centre square. Danger, danger, danger here for the Dogs. If they get hold of this, little one out the back door, Gaff caught with it. Little too long to get rid of it, and they got him. Dalhouse has been very, very effective. One of the best on the ground so far. Little kick out wide to the runner in Wood. Wood thought about the handball, wants to give and go from McRae. Took too long, McRae, to get back on the left foot, run down by Hearn. And they're on the go here through Gaff.
Gaff, short pass, dangerous one. Cripps has to be gutsy. Lots of Bulldogs just hovering around. Liberatore steals it. Hand passes into a bit of open space. Boyd, tight against the boundary line. Gives it back to Dalhouse. Now Stringer, what can he do? Can't pick up the footy. Shepherd does. Gives it to Cripps for West Coast. His kick smothered. Gathered now by Boyd, who gave it to Daniel. His kick not so great. Punched over the line by Wellingham. Let's go down to the boundary for Bob Jane T-Mart's Tanya Armstrong.
Yeah, West Coast worst fears. Scotty Lysett just hobbling to the bench now. He started the game with his left knee heavily strapped. He's got a PCL injury, so we'll keep an eye on what's his problem.
The other thing is Jake Stringer looks like he's got the heavy legs at the moment. Lead legs.
Yep.
He's running around like he's got lead in his boots, I'm telling you. He just looks not running on top of the ground.
You've got to find a second win. He's just got to get that lactate BT out of there somehow, but you're right, running on his knees.
14-point lead for the Dogs. We've played 25 minutes first quarter. We've got 3:53 remaining in it. Ball knocked forward by Giles. The beautiful runner, Shuey. Wanted to go corridor. No one there. Gave the handball away. Pulverising tackle by Boyd. Got the handball out to Wood. Wood to McRae. McRae to Daniel. Back to McRae. Got his left foot chasing inside. He turns the ball back outside. And Picken takes another wonderful mark on the defensive side of the wing.
They're up and about, no doubt about that. We'll go to 10 in a moment. In fact, we'll go down now. 10 for Bob Jane T-Mart. Scotty Lysett going back into the rooms.
He is. He's heading to the change room. Do you think they're going to restrap that knee or perhaps give it a jab?
So here's the Dogs. They have it at half-back. The kick will go in the direction of Dalhouse. Not a great option. Giles there to take the mark. Play the Monopoly game at Macca's for 1 in 5 chance to win great prizes instantly. The Eagles wanting a free kick or a 50-metre penalty for Giles. Not coming, so he just bobs it up in the air, running out on the lead, taking the mark. Darling on the wing. Broadcast side, Jack Darling. The Eagles have stumbled in the second half of this first quarter. The kick inside 50, bounces down. The Cra comes off his feet. Johannesson's there. He's held up in a tackle, caught high, and he'll take the free kick.
He did it well. He just waited for Lecra to come, dropped the knees, lowered the height level, won a free kick. Well played.
Johannesson goes out wide to Hunter. How many's he had so far?
Hunter's coming up to number 8.
Hard yakka stats, Lockie Hunter.
Dalhouse leads all comers with 9. Boyd with 9. Flip it over. Gaff 9 for the Eagles.
Hunter just kicks it back to Briggs. Hasn't had the best of start, Briggs, and that's not a good kick either to Johannesson. He has to play on. Johannesson puts the bit between the line. Look at that.
Jeez.
Beautiful pass to Easton Wood. He now goes wide. Too long in the air, that one there. Picking under real stepping pressure. Paul kicked that one out wide from Easton Wood because they were on downtown. Boundary throw in centre wing in front of the interchange bench. It is the Dogs at the moment leading by 14 points.
They're having a crack too there, Embers. I don't mind the long 50-metre kick to the one-on-ones. I like
McDonald's, Triple M Rocks footy, ball thrown in. Giles doing his own roving. Tries to hand it to Shuey, who was caught in a tackle by Smith. And we'll have another ball up. Still wing here, broadcast side of the grounds.
The Eagles bigs just need to adjust for that long kick because they have not seen a team kick long to the corridor. It's always long down the line. That's where the Eagles set up. That's what the Dogs are doing really well at the moment. They're going long to a contest in the middle of the ground. They're getting numbers there.
Here's Sheed, ball bounced awkwardly for him, gathered by Suckling, little 1-2, he gets it back, goes to Tory, not a great option though, right into the middle of the ground. Yo takes the mark, hands it off to a running Wellingham. He's got a man out on the wing in Marston. They want to come through the middle, but forced to the far side of the ground. The kick is a good one, and out on the lead is Hill, been a little quiet. Hill, long way out from goal, looks inside 50, plenty of numbers for the Bulldogs. He goes towards the pocket. Darling through his hands, should have taken it. Ball tight against the boundary. Dunkling does well, gets him out of trouble. The long hand pass was good to Johannesson. They'll work it down the far side of the ground. Biggs' kick was a bit awkward, cut off by Wellingham. His quick kick back to the top of the 50. Boyd's there, has a bit of a juggle, then he's been caught.
Took a long time to get rid of it. Little unlucky there, the Eagles. Could have almost got the free kick. Bit of a look away handball back to Boyd. Tries to bang through Maston. Maston's got him in the tackle. Ball pinned. Crowd out there didn't like it, and fair enough as well. Tanya, we've got an injury down there with Easton Wood.
Yeah, a bit of concern over the acting captain for the Western Bulldogs. We know he missed the last match with an ankle injury, so the doctor's just having another look at it.
Bob Jane T-March as Wellingham goes inside and Dogs take a mark at centre-half back.
I reckon he heard it when he skated into that marking contest, lost his footing.
Little one around the corner here, back inside to Dalhouse. Almost marked, trying to flick it out to Pick, and Yo was there. Hearn, clever knock on. Got it out wide to Shepherd. Shepherd back with a handball to Gaff. Now comes back to Shepherd. He gets a look inside 50. G's feet were taken from under him by Smith. Up they fly, no winner in the air. Off hands for McGrath. Swooping cleanly and fluently across the pack, but misses. Minor score. Bulldogs here lead by 13 points. We've got just 11 seconds in the quarter remaining.
Geez, Brad Shepherd hit late, or legs taken out late. He's a little ginger, but geez, Lacrosse so sweet and perfect timing front and square. Just couldn't finish off his good work, and the Dogs dodge a bullet.
Yeah, they certainly do. They need to maintain possession here. It's a good kick. Now towards McRae. He'll chip it over the top, and they'll work it forward, but the time will run out. What a great start to this elimination final. It's the Doggies 4-4-28. It's the West Coast Eagles 2-3-15. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks finals footy.
Second elimination final over here in Perth. By the way, the winner to play the loser out of Geelong and Hawthorn. Dogs by 13 points. 4-4-28, leading West Coast 2-3-15. Triple M hard yakka stats. Hard yakka making hard work look easy. Louis, what have we had on the stat sheet?
Inside 50 count, 15-12 in favour of the Eagles. Clearance count, 15-12 in favour of the Eagles. But here's the big one for the Dogs. Contested possessions, +9 to the Doggies, 42-31. That is massive. That is their key, and they're flying at the moment. Big ball winners, Dalhouse with 10, Boyd 9, Daniel 8, and Hunter 8. And for the Eagles, Gaff 11, Butler 7, Prittis 7, Shuey 7. The Bont just 2 touches for the Doggies.
Bob Jane T-March, Tanya Armstrong, injury update, quarter time.
Yeah, Scotty Lycett, the West Coast Eagles ruckman. Good news, he jogged out of the change rooms. He brought a left knee injury into the match, but I spotted some tape on his right shin, so might have got a kick there. And Bulldogs defender Easton Wood, they were having a look at that ankle that kept him out of the last match, but he's okay.
Yeah, he looks okay. Dogs by 13 points, Embers. And Louis, what have you made of the first quarter?
High risk, high reward football at the moment for the Dogs. They are taking the game on up, come with a game plan, and that's to attack the corridor. Kicking the ball a little bit more than they usually do, but quick ball movement, flick the handball around, get the Eagles out the back is something that they've been able to do really well in that particular quarter. They've kicked the last 4 of the game, the Dogs. They're up and about after they conceded the first 2, which was really just poor disposal inside their defensive 50, Louis.
And got a real good heat. Their defensive pressure is fantastic. I reckon the Eagles got to take some time on footy. Actually giving them speed, and it's a bit like a batsman on fire position. Want to slow it down, bowl a couple out the back of the hand, and just slow it down and see whether they can generate, because when they had them pinned, they're having to kick long back down the line right into their web, and they didn't cash in.
Dale Lewis and Andrew Embley, the special comments. Shell V-Power, designed to improve performance. Lockie Reed with me, we're ready to go. Tanya Armstrong, ground level. Umpire Luke Farmer going to bounce it up. Dogs by 13 as we start the second quarter of football. Triple M rocks finals footy. Umpire puts it on the turf in the middle. Roughhead going at it, knocked down by Giles, won it. Eagles kicking to the right of your screens. Through the middle comes Boyd, the All-Australian. Little Soccer didn't do a lot of damage on it. Umpire calls play on. Ball hits the deck. Players pole in. Liberatore's there with Prittis. 2 of the hardest goers in the game. And they become tangled, and we'll ball it up in the middle again.
A quick throw up into the air. The tap down to Hutchings. His kick was smarter. He goes back to try and get it. He leaves it for Marston in the end. Goes back by hand to Prittis. He loses possession. Out the back, Hutchings just slaps it on the boot, kicks it up towards half forward, running onto it and gathering it is Darling. Well played, shrugged off the tackle, gave it back to Hutchings. His kick inside 50. Kennedy on the leads. Out in front of Hamlin. He'll kick from the angle though. And Josh Kennedy kicked the first goal of the game. He'll go back from 45. And as I said, on an angle, 53 seconds gone in the second quarter.
I reckon he was thinking about doing the one around the corner there for a minute. He loves those ones, but his common sense has prevailed, gone back. Just gets good separation, and unlike a lot of other forwards, always comes at the footy. Always gives the kicker the easy option.
His good delivery. Can JK finish it off for the West Coast Eagles? Little start up from 45. Kicks towards goal. It's hit the post. The fans were nearly out of their seats. And then they just sat down very quickly. 1.5 gone in this second term. It's 4-4-28 plays 2-4-16. It's the Dogs still by 12 points.
Goes down in the book as a bad kick, but in actual fact, for a set shot forward, that is a very, very good attempt from there. Ball knocked away here by Barris. Not Barras, we're told here by the local boys as it comes forward here. Got to mark it, McGovern does. She's reliable. In the air, marks this, peels off the handball out wide to Butler. Butler goes wide to Maston. Maston on the half-back line, right at the point of the square here. And he just wants to bring it back into centre half-back. McGovern takes the mark. They're quick to man the mark here, the Dogs. As Schofield used to be a great middle distance runner. And short kick finds Gaff. So Gaff right in front of the interchange area here.
Here's that patience you're talking about, Louis. West Coast just maintaining possession of the football, just trying to slow it down a little bit here.
Gaff goes down the line, high footy, up they fly. In the air, Giles. Took a nice mark, Giles.
Suckling's going to be better than that. You've got to be able to jump, get a knee into the big unit.
Who would have thought 3 weeks ago he'd even be playing? Up they fly, gets it deep inside 50. Look at the Dogs defenders. Lots of them, lots of handball. Liberatore's a little stumble. Got it to Roughhead. Back to Daniel. On to Suckling. Suckling. They get around him. 3 West Coast players closed in on him. They smothered the handball. Hutchins out the back to Gaff.
Gaff gathers, goes back by hand to Hearn. His low worm burn is cut off beautifully by Liberatore. Gathers the footy at halfback, kicks up towards the wing. Good contest. McGovern came from behind to put it down. Shuey there to Shepherd. He gave it straight to Gaff, who had a tackler right on him in Bontempelli. And we'll have a ball up just forward of the wing for the West Coast Eagles.
A little known stat about Jeremy McGovern, really good interceptor, number 1 at the Eagles. 13%. He's only been beaten in one-on-ones the entire year down back.
Giles somehow got the kick away. Gaff's kick was smothered by Daniel there. Up and about the Doggies, playing really good footy.
Louis patting himself on the back with that stat. Not sure it's that good, Louis.
I
didn't know it, and I found out from an All-Australian selector that's one of the reasons he's in there.
So he didn't even do the study. His advantage will play on. Kick inside 50 from Daniel is good. And it's Dixon who's taken the mark on the lead. This is really impressive stuff from the visitors. Bontempelli was involved, and they lead at the moment by 12. They can extend that now.
And like Bristol, I don't take credit. I just give up my sources where it all comes from. But having said all of that, the Dogs again, Ember's happy to get slick hands in tight, try and slice and dice.
So Dixon will kick from just inside the 50, straight in front though, towards the city end of the ground. Already kicked one. Slow approach. Kick is good. It's his seconds. Listen to the Doggy fans go berserk. There's about 1,000 in the house, I'd say. Maybe even less than that, BT. But anyway, they're happy. 5-4-34, the Dogs. The Eagles 2-4-16, 4 gone in the second term.
Well, before that inside 50 entry to the Dogs, Eagles had the last 9. And the Dogs were able to go forward. The space opened up. Bontempelli involved, as you called it well, Lockie. The tackle lingered. Brad Shepherd on Bontempelli. And from that advantage played, and Caleb Daniel lowered the eyes. Space opened up. Dixon straight at the foot. Can't stop that.
Oh, Andrew Embley, Shell V-Power special comments, just making Louis look second-rate at the moment. He's got not much to say sitting there in the second chair.
Oh, it just handed it over. It's a team game, special comments.
Oh, free hit there. Back in the middle we go. At the moment, Dogs by 18 points. 3 straight goals it is. Double-handed knockdown in the middle there. Came from the Eagles. Ball knocked forward here. Pushed out wide by Bontempelli. Bontempelli hopefully thinks he's got it to the boundary line, and he has. They want deliberate, and surely not. Umpire pays it. Said he had no intention of keeping it in, even though he's in the centre square, and he did it. Gaffer's got the free as a result.
Gee, stiff. Very, very stiff. They've gone cold on that.
Right in front of the interchange area. Gaff, long ball down. Kennedy, the meat and the sandwich. Up they fly. Matty Boyd, little rocket handball out there to McRae. Made famous by Kevin Sheedy in 1979. High ball to Roughhead. Up they fly. No winner in the air. Off hands. Wellingham, the former Pie. Beautiful evasive sidestep. Got the little kick out wide and found Pritis. Pritis has taken the mark just forward a wing.
He slows things down. Lead comes from Hill. Decides to go over the top of him. Inside attacking 50. Not a great option. Boyd puts himself in the contest. Then Dunkley dragged down without the foot. He comes out the back to Brown. Haven't seen much of him. Liberatore stills it. Kicks it up towards the wing. Barras is underneath it. Great mark from the youngster. Had the pressure coming from Cordy. And on the wing, he takes the mark, decides to go to the far side of the ground. It's still the Doggies by 18 points, and we've gone 6 minutes now in this second quarter.
That's Barras, formerly known as Barras a week ago. Hearn, game 200, slots a little football out there wide. Finds Lacroix.
So we've got a luxury to have 2 interceptors down back, McGovern and Barras.
Look at this, they've set the boomerang up from the wing, from one wing to the other. The West Coast Eagles, Hearn, short ball back to Lacroix. Lacroix on the Chris Main wearing wing here.
Dogs are like this too because they're getting a breather as well.
So Lacroix kicks from the Hilux logo. Long ball inside. Boyd went up. Probably should have marked it. He had the front posse. Umpire calls play on. Darling applying the tackle on the Dogs, Morris. And we'll have a ball up. Umpire Brett Rosebery there. Attacking 50 here for the Eagles.
It's the Dogs by 18 on the Triple M Ego Outdoor Power Equipment scoreboard. The Eagles with it through Marston. He goes by hand to Hearn, and Hearn will just chip it to left half forward, and the mark taken by Lycett. Good to see him back on the grounds. Got knee and shin troubles. 70 out from goal. Kicks to the hot spot. The Dogs with plenty of numbers. Trying to take the mark was Brown. Comes down to Hill. Kicks towards an open goal line. It's through for a minor score. Another one to the Eagles. They're 2-5-17. They trail the Dogs 5-4-34. 56 volts of power beyond belief. That is the Ego Outdoor Power Equipment scoreboard.
And Tom Boyd's gone into the ruck for the Dogs. Setting up well behind the football. Had a couple of jumps the last two balls. He's getting his hands to it, but probably just should pluck them.
Matty Boyd kicked out wide. Liberatore flew 4 deep and knocked the ball over the line out of bounds. So we'll throw it in here. Liberatore giving Hutchins a bit of a going over here at the moment. Umpire yet to throw the ball in. Libber comes from the ground, replaced by Dalhouse, who had an inspirational first quarter. Dogs here by 18 points on the Triple M Ego Outdoor Power Equipment scoreboard. Put his head over at Gaff, won the real hard ball, wrapped up in the tackle. In the end, went nowhere. Picking the tackler. And we'll have another ball up here, half forward for the Eagles. Lycett front position, rough head there as well. Ball knocked down. Hunter was partially decapitated by Pritis. And Hunter's got the free. Point of the square at half-back, glances inside, nothing there. And this is a case of the Eagles once again. Quick to defend, forcing the kick down the line. Tries to draw Dalhouse to the footy. Takes the mark, gives the handball off to McRae. Beautiful kick by McRae. Found Dunkley. Probably should have gone with a handball. Probably should have gone with a kick. He's gone with neither now. Now he goes with a long ball. Inside 50. Up they fly. Barras was there. Ball off hands. Opportunity here. Deep in the Dogs attack zone. Boyd is there. Little handball by Daniel. Comes out. Dalhouse has a snap and kicks the goal. Dalhouse has kicked another one, and the Dogs have kicked 6 straight goals here. 2-5-17 to 6-4-40.
It was almost a stuff-up dunk. They took forever to get it in. This goes to be real flat. They had all the numbers back. They all jumped. Didn't kill the footy, Embers. Leaving Schofield at ground level. Just panicked with the footy a little bit, allowing a Bulldog handball to get out to Dalhouse. What they're doing really well is getting big numbers around the contest, not allowing anyone to get out, and the sharpshooters are just cashing right in right now.
It's the Doggies by 23 points on the Ego Outdoor Power Equipment scoreboards. 6-4 plays 2-5.
Caleb Daniels the only bloke that could have got through that hole, but gee, it was nice.
6 straight goals to the visitors. 5 changes to the team that lost to Fremantle here a couple of weeks ago. And they're out again. Jong gathers it, kicks it up towards half forward. Stringer out on the lead. Had the ball punched away. Runs out after it. Tries to shrug off the tackler and Hill. He does. Hand pass is good. Out wide. They're working it around. Now in the hands of Daniel. His kick inside 50. Boyd takes a great mark right on the boundary. And Tommy Boyd's from 45 will kick it goal. Tanya Armstrong for Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, Western Bulldogs big man Jordan Ruffhead just limping to the boundary line. Looks like he rolled his ankle.
So Boyd's a chance to kick 7 straight for the Doggies. Ripped this game apart early on. Slow approach. As he kicked it across the face, I think he has, to the left-hand sides. And a minor score. 8-5. Plays 2-5 on the Triple M Ego Outdoor Power Equipment scoreboard.
Dr. Gary Zimmerman down there on the bench, just pushing Roughhead out there to go and see how it feels. Of course, he looks after all muscle injuries. Jakey Landsberg, the other doctor. Cough, colds and sore holes, Louis, that's all he does.
Shellfeed Power, special comments. Brian Zala also taking care of commentary tonight.
Thank you very much. Suckling, little one out the back door here. Handball over the top, not so good, putting Hunter under pressure over the line and out of bounds. Here's Dale Lewis on Triple M footy.
Going to get a free kick. He got lucky, Suckling. Got to clean up his act. He's a class player, skilled player. Got to be cleaner than that back there, Embers.
So on the wing, they can work it forward. The kick will go up towards half forward. Barras is not really the man to kick to because he's a pretty good mark, and he takes that mark on the occasion at left half back. Plays on quickly. Gives it to Gaff, who goes short to Shepherd. Now to Hill. He goes back to Shepherd, who was nearly under pressure. Goes by hand to Gaff again. Another hard yakker for him. Kicks it up towards half forward. Handling though. Stands in the way. Takes the mark. And there a chance here, BT. The kick is good to Dalhouse.
Short quarter, Dalhouse, centre half back. He wanted to go. He just goes sideways to Biggs. Biggs takes the mark. Little ball out further sideways to Picken. Picken long. Handball over the top to Matty Boyd. He can reel and go. Little left foot poker along the line. Found Dixon. Good movement of the footy. Dixon marks right in front of the interchange area here. Now kicks long to half forward, looking for Bonampelli in a one-on-one down there. Getting back, Paras, ham off hands, comes to Boyd. Tom Boyd gathers, runs to goal, misses to the left. And a minor score. And a 26-point lead, I think it is. Or is that 25 points, Lockie? May well be 25-point lead here at the moment with the Dogs.
Tommy Barris, certainly a great intercept mark, but a couple of times tonight when he's come off his man, he's gone to punch the ball out. Just got to do better. An opportunity to get that ball out of bounds. He doesn't impact the contest, and from that, Boyd was able to have a shot at goal.
Big tackle laid by McGovern, forces the turnover at half-back. Here's Marston running away from Picken, goes back by hand to Sheed. Could come down the line, decides to go through the middle of the ground to Darling, taking some marks. Plenty of players running for him, decides to go the furthest option. Probably the worst one in the end, but Hill made it look okay, then lost possession as he was caught holding the ball. It'll go the Bulldogs' way.
Jong's done his shoulder by the looks, boys.
Looks sore. We'll go to Tanya in a moment. In fact, Tan, we'll go to you now as Liberatore has it. He goes short again. Tan.
Yeah, Lin Jong, he took a long time to get up. He's walking to the dugout now, holding his right arm to his chest. Looks like he's done his shoulder.
Johannesson does really well. Kicks inside attacking 50, pushing off his Dixon. Gathers the footy. 45 out. Tackler comes at him, runs around him, then kicks into a bit of open space. Superb football from the Bulldogs.
That shoulder by Jong, sublux for sure. Definitely looked like the bone was pointing up, didn't it?
Yeah, you're going to have to get that back in. There's Gary there, Dr. Gary going to do it. Chemist Warehouse replay screen will show it. Just gets pile drive into the dirt. Elbow hits first, Bristol, and goes straight up through. Eagles' last goal, 9-minute mark of the opening term.
And Hunter has taken the mark and a chance to kick another goal. From 40. Slide angle will suit his left foot, and that is a good kick as well. What a terrific start to this game from the visitors. They've come here losing their last 7 straight, and now they're 7-6-48. They lead the West Coast Eagles, who are stuck on 2-5-17. 14 gone, and Triple M Outdoor Power Equipment scoreboards.
Jong down there on the boundary, distraught, being comforted by the doctors. I think he's cooked for the day. Bristol not going to try and do anything with that.
He's gone and cooked. Let's get down to Tanya Armstrong.
Yeah, you're right. You spotted some hugs from the trainers just trying to comfort him, but they're not actually doing anything to the shoulder. They're just comforting him at the moment. Jordan Roughhead's back on, which is a good sign to the Dogs.
I think they might have popped it in, but it's not going to be no good for him. He's actually in tears. He's broken down, started crying down there, Jong. Dr. Gary Zimmerman with his arm around him, consoling him at the moment. So it's over for Jong, and that probably means the finals campaign's probably over as well. But at the moment, the Dogs have kicked 7 straight goals here.
Pressure.
They lead it by a massive 31 points. They've got an injury on the bench, but let's see how they go out the middle. Hunter, little kick forward. Here they go again, the Dogs. They've got it within 30 metres. Hearn, the 200 gamer, little kick out wide, did well, got it to Shuey, avoided the tackle there, Shuey. Beautiful little kick to Lacroix. Lacroix marks on centre wing, fed the handball inside. Here they go, the Eagles. Gee, it was a good smother by Biggs. Partial smother. Darling able to pick it up. Gave it to Hill. Hill long handball out wide. Lacroix looking for Kennedy. Kennedy marks on the lead. Plays on. Little kick around the body. Yo has marked 30 out directly in front. Very unselfish from Kennedy.
They got the overlap there, and they were quick with the ball movement, the West Coast Eagles. They moved the ball well. They were slick. Lacroix, really good kick to Kennedy, and Kennedy unselfishly could have gone back and had a shot, but found a better target to Elliot Yeo. Has to go back and kick this. The Dogs are all over the Eagles at the moment.
30 metres out, dead in front. Haven't kicked a goal since the 10-minute mark of the first quarter. We're now at the 15-minute mark of the second. Yeo to give the Eagles a little sniff. Directly in front, 30 out. He's pulled it to the left and missed. Bad miss. Shocking miss. Dogs by 30 points on the Ego Outdoor Power Equipment scoreboard.
Only 3 touches for Elliot Yeo. Hasn't been in great nick, and he's a confidence man too. That will hurt him at the moment. I tell you what, Eagles, they have to get a wriggle on here because the confidence is up and they can't expect the Doggies just to die.
Louis Fischel V-Power designed to improve performance. The Doggies on the run again. Here's McRae. Hands it off to Bontempelli. His hand pass, a tricky one to McKay, who gathers it. Goes out wide towards the wing. Johannesson with it. The long kick of Johannesson goes up towards the top of the 50, but McGovern runs back, takes the mark, plays on quickly. By hand to Shuey. Through the middle. She, not sure what to do, decides to kick, and a good option. There's two out wide. Hill gathers it for the Eagles. His kick inside 50. Darling running back, takes the mark.
Oh, he played on. He's got him.
Jack Darling played on. Then he's caught in a tackle, holding the ball.
He has some terrible moments, Jack Darling. That's another one there. The Eagles just need a little bit of patience. Just go back, show some leadership. And in the end, it was a good call by the umpire. He went off his line and holding the ball.
Oh boy, it was 20 metres out directly in front, Darling, and he decided to play on for some unknown reason. Suckling kicks the high ball to Roughhead. He spoils the ball. Shuey tries to break the tackle. Got the handball to Giles. Giles up and under. High ball inside 50 again. Up they go. Easton Wood mistimed his run. Ball hits the deck. Umpire calls play on. Johannesson with a vicious tackle. Forces the ball up. 45 metres out from the Eagles' goal.
They rattled Louis. They rattled the West Coast Eagles.
Tell you what, Easton Wood's not right. He's the worst of the bunch that's come back tonight. He cannot leap off that ankle.
30 points, the Dogs lead. They're up to the challenge on this occasion. Picken throws himself at the footy. Goes off towards McRae. Was he taken high? Surely he was. And he'll get the free kick. 45 around. Eagles fans got nothing to complain about there.
Oh, Jong is just in all sorts on the bench. Still in tears. Comforted by the doc. He's a spent unit. They're just putting their head over the footy, the Doggies, at the moment. And if you're Jack Darling, just got to go back and kick a goal. You've got to take responsibility in big moments in games of footy.
The punch came from Barris towards the boundary line. Pritis needing him to fire up the West Coast Eagles. Caught in a gang tackle. Ball turned over, then bounced off the hands of Dunkley and over the line.
I will say one thing. I reckon the momentum has turned ever so slightly since Jong has gone off West Coast way.
Yeah, last couple of inside 50s, repeat inside 50s going West Coast. That's why that Darling kick was so big, just to settle them down on the scoreboard.
30-point margin it is. Could have been 24. Ball knocked down in front of Gaff. Gaff picked it up, gave it off to Shuey. Snapped, kick around the corner, high ball. Mitch Brown went up, knocked it to the ground. And he was dumped in his attempt. Very athletic, I must admit. Boundary throw in. Right in front of the
he was up
bench.
forward and not down back. Should have been putting the jukes up.
Yeah. So getting lots of shots on the Chemist Warehouse screen here of Jong, who's out of the game. Seems to have dislocated his shoulder pretty badly. Sitting down there with the doctors. Boundary umpire throws it back in. Roughhead, beautiful tap. Daniel got it to Dalhouse. Dalhouse, funny little kick back inside. Not sure why he did that. Maston grabbed it, banged it inside 50. Kennedy's got the front position in front of Hamling. Out the back door, Morris saving handball. He too got it off to Easton Wood, but he looked jittery over the ball. Picked up by Hamling. His ball was smothered by Pritis. Gave it off there to Maston. Maston out wide. Opportunity, Hearn. Gave it back. Lacroix. Kick smothered. Hamling. Little kick. Dogs mark here. Half-back McRae did well to get out of trouble, the Dogs.
They did. Gave it off to Hunter. At right half-back, he kicks it in the direction of Bontempelli. Goes up to try and take the mark. Yo paddles it to his own advantage, then has to go and lay the tackle. At right half forward for the Dogs. We'll have a ball up.
Stand up.
The Dogs by 30 points. We've gone now 20 minutes. There's a bit of a blood rule, gents.
Matty Boyd behind play will come off the ground under that blood rule.
A fair bit of claret coming out of that nose. Again, Dogs, just the ability to get big numbers at the fall of the footy. Josh Dunkley that time able to lock it up.
Stats that matter in the second quarter. Inside 50s, 9-6 in favour of the West Coast Eagles for 0 goals. 6 inside 50 entries for the Dogs for 3 goals. They get the ball inside. They're looking quite dangerous. Louis?
Mitch Brown yet to touch the agate.
So, ball thrown up. Roughhead got the tap away. McRae falls to the ground, drags the footy under. Stolen by Shuey though. His hand pass out into a bit of open space as she tried to trap it. Smith very quick for the Bulldogs, trying to trap it right against the boundary line. Did very well. Gave it to Dalhouse. He's quick forward though. He's out of bounds on the full, and the free kick will go West Coast Eagles' way. They trail it here by 30 points, and we've now gone 21 minutes in this second term.
Dalhouse superb, 16 touches.
Pickens only had 8 and Gaff's had 18, but I think you'd be happy with the result. Pickens kicked a goal, and I reckon Bevo would be more than happy with how it's playing out.
All of the hard yakka stats there presented by Dale Lewis on Triple M Football. Eagles got a chance in defence here. Little handball by Shepherd comes out. Barras Barras, I'm not sure what you're calling. I'm bloody confused. Barras, something like that.
Barrister.
I'm just going to go with Barras. Off it comes to Darling, picked it up, needs a runner, got an escort, gave it to Shuey, had to back up, gives it back now. Little one by Gaff, inching ball inside, finds Lacroix at centre half field, turns around left foot, high ball, Hill's under this, he and Suckling go at it. Gee, Suckling didn't give me out, ball out the back, Miss Brown will run into the goal. Brown kicks it. One against the flow, and Brown has kicked his first goal of the year as well. Dogs by 24 points on the Ego Outdoor Power Equipment scoreboard. First goal of the quarter for the Eagles.
Oh, Mitchie Brown, first kick, first goal, but Suckling
had to do better in that one-on-one contest, did he? Yes. Long ball inside forward 50. Suckling had to do better on Josh Hill. And in the end, the Eagles are getting some inside 50 entries in this quarter, no doubt about it, but just struggling to convert. And Mitch Brown, who's been very poor in the first half, one kick, but what an important goal for him.
Yeah, it certainly was, and I reckon time for Picking to go and get back on the gaff now. I reckon he's just starting to lace him up and link him up through the middle.
Momentum has definitely turned here, I reckon, Eagles' way.
No doubt about that, as Gaff stands on the far side of the ground on his own.
Himself.
Well, now someone comes to him. Dixon runs alongside him. Awkward bounce from the umpire. We'll do it again in the middle of the ground. 24 points the Bulldogs lead.
Picking started on Gaff, but they let that go after 4 or 5 minutes.
So we'll have another crack at it. 7-8. Plays 3-6. The tap down was good from Roughhead, throwing himself on at Smith. Here's Bontempelli. Just got away the hand pass before the tacklers came upon him. Now Daniel, he loses possession in a good tackle. Ball still just metres away from the centre circle. Gang tackling from the West Coast is good. Comes out towards Lycett. Quick hands now to Marston. Out towards Hearn. He was bumped as he kicked up towards Kennedy. Ball punched away from Hamling. Out towards the boundary. It bounces awkwardly though and picked up by Marston.
So Hearn gets another crack at it. This time it's better. Goes up towards Hill. Kennedy got in his way and interfered with the Dogs player as well. And a free kick will go Hamling's way, I think it is.
He did well. First time with the spoil, then going back winning a free kick. You just get a sense, though, the Eagles, if they can steal one more before half-time, this crowd's going to go bunter. And they're going to really just put a little bit of doubt into the doggies' mind.
Sean V. Power designed to improve performance. Special comments from Dale Lewis. Here's Tom Boyd. Took a mark in the middle of the crowd like that. Bontempelli demanding the footy. Disappointed when he didn't get it. But Boyd goes long and deep. Liberatore down there. Up goes Stringer. Off hands it come. Liber almost had a piece of it. Spills to Maston. Here's Pritis. Pritis goes even wider. Gee, they're under pressure. The Dogs are really confronting the Eagles every time they get the footy. Yo takes on Dixon. Faster by foot. Got the little handball in there to Hutchings. Hutchings goes back to Yo. Shrugs the tackle. Kick back inside. Not what he'd hoped. And Roughhead there to tidy it up for the Dogs. And here we go with Biggs and Liber.
Here's Liber. Kicks out towards the wing for McDonald's Triple M Rocks finals footy. Good kick to Dalhouse. Draws his defender. Gives it to Picken. Picken will kick. Inside attacking 50. The bot there, was he pushed out? No, said the umpire. Hearn did well. 1-2 with Hutchings. Comes to this broadcast side with a good kick. Willingham takes the mark.
Yeah,
the Dogs by 24.
You might look at the Chemist Warehouse lock just to see how the body contact will look to come real early against the Bont.
And the Bont fell to ground. Hearn gathered the footy, and now it's in the hands of McGovern. He'll chip it along the line. It has to be perfect. It is, and Kennedy will take the mark. West Coast trailing by 24.
Be a horrible flop if there is no contact.
Yeah, not good. He's only had 6 touches too, BT.
Kennedy backwards to McGovern.
And the other one, package Stringer, just the 5. 1 kick and 4 handballs.
He's my boy, he'll come good. There's Butler. Half-back, centre-half-back if you like. So just milking a bit of time here and a bit of control. Wellingham takes the mark on the half-back line here. Full scores of the Eagles 3-6-24, trail the Dogs 7-6-48. Wellingham goes down the line looking for Shuey. Touch ball in front by Easton Wood. Went and grabbed it. Gee, Pritis had him when he didn't have it. Umpire calls play on. And then Cordy was pinned and should have been pinged for incorrect disposal. Umpire let it go on. Shuey ducks the tackle, got around another. Liberatore, have a look at the Dogs. They are like menacing dogs. Liber got one high. Umpire calls play on. Cordy's thrown out of the way.
Put the whistle away.
And umpire Smith he's run out of pee. There's no pee less in the whistle. He refused to blow it.
Oh, he's got to go. Could have been 3 free kicks in that for sure.
Get him a new whistle.
The tap down Comes to Clay Smith, gives it off to Boyd. Had plenty of time just to wheel around. Kicks inside, attacking 50. Pack forms, no one can take the mark. Running onto it, Wellingham. Good hands to Butler. Now out wide to McGovern. Right half back, he'll come towards the wing. The kick had to be good. Pressure came on to Shuey. Boyd did really well. Forced the ball to ground. Then it's been kicked over the line and out of bounds on the full. And it's going to go the Doggies' way. Hunter will take it. They lead by 24. We're gone 28, nearly 29 minutes in this second turn.
No one home. Schofield able to mark uncontested here, so the pressure's starting to build. 24-point ball game in favour of the Dogs. We've got 7 seconds until half-time, so there'll be no further score. Schofield will send it down the line. Bad news for Jong. He's injured the shoulder, won't take any further part in the game. Cracking, hard-nosed game of football we've got here. Liberatore's out there. Lecrae wants to box on. Shuey's just throwing a little left and right at Cordy. Tempers are fray here.
Dogs are in it.
Gee, Lecrae's gone again. Liver's there. It's just getting a bit ugly here at half-time. The Dogs by 24 points.
Big Roughhead all over there alone by himself, wants a piece of the action.
And the Eagles starting to find a bit of spirit in their game. And behind the play, while all of that was going on, there's an Eagles player down in the hands of the doctors. May well be Yo. Half-time scores here in a fascinating game of footy. The Dogs surprisingly lead 7-6-48 to the Eagles 3-6-24. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks finals footy.
It's a full of run here at Domain Stadium. It's elimination number 2. And we're underway. Thursday night finals footy for McDonald's. Triple M certainly does rock finals footy. And the Doggies leading by 24 points at 7-6-48. To West Coast 3-6-24. Goals to Dalhouse, Hunter, Liberatore, Dixon, Daniel and Picken. And for the West Coast Eagles, Mitch Brown, Kennedy and Darling are the goal scorers. Our experts this evening, Dale Lewis and Andrew Embley. That was really impressive from the visitors.
Outstanding. Came with a plan, didn't they, Embers, to take the game on and just attack them. And it didn't matter whether it was a 2-on-1 or whatever, back inside the corridor. They were just going to back their skill level. Ask the question of a West Coast defence that likes to set up long down the line and force you into the trap. It was fantastic coaching, and to carry it out, Lockie Hunter, McRae, Libber, all of their gun stars, Dalhouse, little Caleb Daniel, they're all in it, up to their necks, and they're having a massive crack at it. It was just a little twist at the end where it just felt it went West Coast's way, but still at the end of the day, they'd have to be wrapped going into half-time with a 4-goal lead.
Well, Luke Beveridge has come with a plan, and that is to take the game on through the corridor. We know that you didn't want to get caught going long down the line to the West Coast Eagles, and a lot of these long kicks in the first half have gone long to a dangerous spot. But it's high risk, high reward. And the thing is, the Dogs players know what's going on. So they're actually getting front and square. So when that ball comes to the ground, they've got numbers there. They've been really slick with their handball. I think the Eagles defenders need to adjust their positioning at the moment. As you said, though, late in that second quarter, the Eagles certainly had their opportunities to go inside their forward 50. When you have a look at some of the hard yakka stats that really matter, inside 50 is 25 to the Eagles, 24 to the Bulldogs. But for mine, it's been the Bulldogs forwards that have probably been a bit more efficient compared to the Eagles in the first half.
This is the halftime break for IGA Liquor. IGA Liquor, how the locals like it. Got a little spicy at the end. Was that the Eagles just being completely frustrated? They came here being the form team of the competition since round 13, and the visitors have taken it up to them.
Well, the antagonist in me says the flat track bullies don't like it when it gets served up, the big schoolyard bully. And I think the Doggies wanted to go on with it too. Just a reminder, they've come across with a great mentality that it's us against the world over here, and they're serving it up. And I think they just wanted to head in. They realised they'd lost a little control that last 5 or 10. And if they could win just a little quick power play as they went off, they were going to be happy. Big Ruff was over there amongst it all on his own, trying to do a dermy.
Yep.
He looked pretty handy at it, but it was just good to see because they've come with, like Ember said, an idea of how to get inside their heads as well as beat them to the footy. Contested footy's the number one. They were +9 the opening term. That's their bread and butter. Again, the only concerns are a lot of blokes underdone. With Jong going down, as BT said, where's all the run going to come in the second half where it notoriously always opens up a touch, and you've always got a big 45,000 crowd to bring home the Eagles?
Embers, you've given us a bit of a taste, but take us through the Triple M Hard Yakka stats.
No disposals, the West Coast Eagles 209, Bulldogs 203. Contested football, Eagles 70, the Bulldogs lead the way 77. Uncontested possessions, 142 to the Eagles to 123 to the Bulldogs. Inside 50s, 25 Eagles, 24 Bulldogs. Some of the individual leading stat getters in the first half, starting with the Bulldogs. Dalhouse has had 17. Hunter 16, McRae 15, Daniel 14, Boyd 14, and for the West Coast Eagles, Andrew Gaff leads the way with 20 disposals. Marston 16, had a really good second quarter. Luke Shuey up to 16, and Sam Butler across half-back has also had 16.
Embers, to back up the theory too that the Eagles are coming, and they'd be pretty happy all the right cues are coming. That second quarter alone, contested footy 38-35 their way, able to get their noses in front. Inside 50 count was 12-10 to the Doggies, so they're able to close that down. It's just the ability to actually hit the scoreboard. Jack Darling, his was the big one. He was the one that would have been there to settle them down. And for some reason, if you missed it, just tried to walk into an open goal from 20 yards out, but forgot there was two defenders sitting around him.
For Bob Jane teammates down on the boundary, 10 Armstrong. Lin Jong, the major injury concern, but you were certainly kept busy with other injury troubles.
Yeah, well, the Western Bulldogs in particular were kept busy, as they have been all year. Yet season over, definitely game over for Lin Jong. He left the ground with his arm in a sling, or looks like he hurt his right shoulder or his arm in a tackle, so he's gone to the rooms. He was distraught, being comforted by the doctors midway through that second term, so really bad luck for him. We saw ruckman Jordan Roughead rolled an ankle, but he went back on the ground for the Western Bulldogs. Matty Boyd left the field with a blood nose. He's okay. Easton Wood doesn't look comfortable on that ankle, but he's playing out the game. The only injury concern for West Coast so far, ruckman Scott Lysett, who limped from the field early in the match, but he's okay as well. He's playing out the game.
Louis, you mentioned it, but let's go over it again. The moments came up on the Chemist Warehouse replay. Darling taking the mark, turning around, thinking, I'm going to kick a goal. And he, as he said,
I don't know, you're playing a final, so I would have thought there might be some kind of pressure out there. I mean, you've got to take it. We saw it with Tom Boyd in the opening term for the Bulldogs. 50 metres out, well within range. Take the responsibility. There's no such thing as easy goals in finals. Just because you think you want to walk into an open goal and take the pressure off, Jack's got demons. He's had issues before in front of goal, and he can get a bit edgy, so that will not help now. Senior player need to get around him, sort him out as well.
Embers, what do the Eagles do now to get back into this game? You feel like they gathered a little bit of momentum late in that second term.
Well, they need a lift from a number of players at the moment from my perspective. A lot of passengers at the moment. They're the West Coast Eagles. Brown only the one kick. Cripps has given nothing. 2 touches. Dom Sheed, who's been a really important contributor the last 4 or 5 weeks. Only the 5 touches in the first half. Yo not doing enough, 5 touches. Mark Lacroix only 8 touches, no goals. Working quite hard inside that forward 50, but needs to do more. Josh Hill needs to do more as well. So when you have a look at a number of the West Coast Eagles players far from their best at the moment, they need to really start to find a way to impact this game in the second half, or it's season over for the Eagles.
Andrew Embley, Dale Lewis, our experts this evening here. It's elimination final between the West Coast Eagles and the Western Bulldogs. Tonight's Triple M halftime instant trivia for Herald Sun is West Coast Eagles' first ever final was the 1988 elimination final, which happened to be against which team? Answer correctly on Twitter. Jump on it now at Triple M Footy, and you could be in the running for 2 tickets to this year's AFL Grand Final. I'll give you the answer straight after the break. It's at Triple M Footy. And that team that played West Coast in their first elimination final of 1988. Here, it's elimination final time at Domain Stadium, and it's the Bulldogs leading the way by 24 points. The Doggies 7-6-48, West Coast 3-6-24. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks finals footy.
Don't forget for McDonald's to play the Monopoly game at Macca's for a 1 in 5 chance to win great prizes instantly. For McDonald's, Triple M rocking finals footy. The Eagles are back out. Dogs aren't too far away, and it's a 24-point ball game at half-time. Dogs leading 7-6-48, West Coast 3-6-24, but momentum swung their way in the last 10 minutes, particularly with the injury to Jong. Tonight's Triple M halftime trivia for the Herald Sun was, and the question was, West Coast's first ever final was the 1988 elimination final, which happened to be against which team? The answer, Lockie, was, and who won it?
The Mighty Demons, and Michael Owens at MOwens_4 is the winner.
Congratulations, Michael. You are now in the running for 2 tickets to this year's grand final. Hey, before the teams get back out, might just get something off Embers here. The Triple M Pettis Star Performer Best on Ground Award. We know that's over now, but if you had to put your pen to paper at the moment, who'd be voting for, you reckon, Embers?
I think Dale House has been absolutely brilliant. 17 disposals for Hadyaka in the first half. He kicked an important goal. He's been strong in the air as well and taken some really good marks. We know what sort of pressure that he's been able to put on as well. So Hunter's been good. McRae's given him some good support too. And for the Eagles, Andrew Gaff has been very good in the first half with 20 disposals.
Here's Lockie Reid with the Herald Sun Supercoach player points update, Lockie.
Lockie Hunter.
Let's go. You got him?
Yep, go. Yeah, let's do it. Lockie Hunter and Luke Dalhouse on 66 points apiece. Tommy Liberatore, what a return for him, 65. Luke Shuey, the best of the Eagles, on 61. Dixon on 61 as well. Liam Pickham and Caleb Daniel going pretty well on 56 and 55 apiece.
This is the halftime break thanks to IGA Liquor. IGA Liquor, how the locals like it. Okay, 24-point ball game. We're not far off getting underway. Both sides out there. Umpires ready to go. Crowd ready to go. Thursday night. First ever final outside Friday, Saturday or Sunday for the AFL. And it's been an absolute success here given the quality of this game we've had so far already, Louis.
Yeah, they'll be wrapped, absolutely wrapped, and a massive crowd in attendance, and it's just lived up to everything. Finals are about pressure and bringing heat, and the Dogs have come over with a plan and they've executed beautifully till half-time.
So do you think because they're in front they have executed better, or do you think the Eagles have still been able to execute part of their plan?
The Eagles haven't been able to play their style of footy, haven't set it up on their own terms, because there's been no moments barring maybe that last 5 minutes of that opening half where they were able to sit on footy and control the footy. Right now it's a pinball going up and back. And I think the Dogs like that because they can bring their heat and bring their pressure, whereas the Eagles like to slice and dice, to get round the outside, then come back through the middle, play this really nice attacking brand of football.
What advice would you have now for my man, the package, Jake Stringer? Now, I don't want to see Jake at the end of the game when the Dogs have lost by 3 points and he's down on all fours going, oh, we're blowing it. And saying to himself, I could have done more. What can he do? What does he need to do to impose himself in this second half?
A little bit of body contact would be handy. He gets guilty of always and has been questioning. Loves to get back to goal. Go and present. If you're playing forward, start deep, come at the footy, draw the footy. He is a magnet. But most importantly, I'd love to see him have a run on the ball, Embers.
Yeah, I'd love to see
him get involved, get that real blow so he can get into that second win phase. He's got to leave it all out there. I want to see him get dirty. I want to see him start at half a blue. I want to see him get involved.
He's powerful in the middle, but I don't think they trust him defensively.
Well, it's only got to be 2 or 3. Let him get amongst it up, run a big J, get back into the forward line, and then see what you can do after that.
Watch out, Lockie's pulled out the iPad here. He's gone all bloody high tech on us.
Got to start looking good, BT.
24-point lead for the Western Bulldogs, Lockie. It ain't going to help you call the footy, mate. Here you go. You've got it for the second half.
Okay, for McDonald's, Triple M Rocks, finals footy. In this second half, not too far away. We're watching on the big screen. What's the name of the Eagle? Eddie the Eagle.
Yep.
And I'll tell you,
like that.
Briss, the Dogs, they've got to find a way to win this. Haven't won a final yet under Luke Beveridge, and to go down even with injuries, need to win it. You've got to find a way to win.
The Eagles fans finding some voice. Their team trails by 24 points. Still waiting for the umpire to bounce the footy. It'll be Giles up against Roughhead. Bontempelli in the middle alongside Shuey. Prentice is jumping up and down. The hair bobbling around as we now get the second half underway. Giles jumping early, tried to get his hands to it. The umpire's seen a little bit of a block, and it'll go the Bulldogs' way. Roughhead will get the free kick.
I reckon Hutchings might have gone to McRae at that bounce, and picking out on Gaff and the Bont. Just getting a run free on Shuey head to head.
Handed it off to Suckling. He kicked inside, attacking 50. And a good mark from Barris. He takes the mark 30 out from his defensive goal. Wants to play on quickly. Gaff. Another hard yakka for him. Has a bounce and then comes to this broadcast side. Beautiful kick. Lecras will take it on the chest. On the wing. The Eagles still by 24 points. They're trailing.
Probably should have reeled and went then. Lecras, who decided to hold it up, wait for his team to get forward. Here they come over the top. Couldn't make the ball there. Giles, little handball to Suckling. Ling to McRae. McRae tried to kick the ball too low and hard. Picken mopped it up, but he was tackled immediately. Somehow he sprung up, got the handball to Suckling. Picken goes in again. Hutchins there. They hold the ball in and under. All of this happening at centre-half forward for the West Coast Eagles at the moment. Sometimes McRae overkicks the ball. Embers too hard, too low. Ball up here. Giles doing the ruck work this time, knocking the ball down on the Lacroix path. Couldn't quite get the run out the back door. It came for the Western Bulldogs. Matty Boyd. High ball in there towards Tom Boyd. He couldn't get loose, but he applies the tackle.
That's on the ball.
One arm chicken tackle. Umpire was unsided out the back. Hunter just got it away. On to Dixon. Dixon got a bit of time and space here on the half-forward line. What a beautiful kick that is to Dixon. Back inside. Couldn't mark the ball. Was that Biggs again? No, it wasn't. It was Dunkley. Probably should have marked it. Eagles now. Barras gave the handball away. Gaff's on his way with a nice little kick out wide.
He kicks it out wide, but Johannesson has cut it off on the wing and bombs it inside attacking 50. Schofield running at it. Oh, he had a player running straight at him. And Schofield, it was Smith, who didn't watch the footy and ran straight into Schofield, and he'll get a free kick. Schofield had punched the ball away. The iPad's come up with something, BT. I'll tell you in a moment.
Tell you what, I did
to the goal square
of James Hurd injury to Clay Smith. Then he had his eye off the footy, didn't know where his man was, and luckily he got the hip.
He found himself in a terrible position running back with the fly to the footy.
And Hutchings will take it to Butler, kicks it to the lead of Darling. Caught one over the shoulder, and he milked it beautifully. You get the free kick.
Proud free kick
back. 24 points is the Bulldogs lead. West Coast, the 3-6 to half-time. Their lowest score to half-time this season.
Free kick count now 11-6 in favour of the Dogs. They got a right royal send-off, 2 at half-time. The umpires from the locals.
Nothing that says that it has to be equal, of course. Through the middle of the ground, Shuey. We just like to be nice and tight if we can. Here's Darling. They climbed on top of him, could have almost got the free. Umpire said he did not knock it out after sucking it in. So it's a Liberatore free in the middle of the ground here. Or will it go to Boyd? Tom Boyd's got it, gives it off to Johannesson. Johannesson running through the centre circle, straightens up, high ball, here it comes. G. McGovern did well to hold out his man and compete in the air. Couldn't mark the ball, hits the deck. Players surrounding the ball here, about 10 of them. Little handball from Shepherd, got it out wide, Maston. Maston half back line, little chipping kick. Nice to Kennedy. Have a look how far up the ground he is. Josh Kennedy has marked the ball at half back for the Eagles. Slow to go, and that's because there's no one further afield. Kennedy goes down the line looking for Sheed. It was knocked away from him by Johannesson. Been a quiet night, as Andrew Embley said, for Sheed. He'd like to see more out of him in the second half.
Just the 5 touches, BT. I reckon they're going to take a punt here, the Eagles. Got to get around the members. He's kicking down the line. They've set up beautifully behind the footy, the Doggies. Got to stretch them wide, West Coast.
3.5 gone in the third. It's the Dogs by 24. Liberatore gathers it, kicks it up towards half forward. McGovern can't take the mark. Fell to ground, a quick kick forward. Out to the advantage of Dixon. Running back with the flight of the footy. He tried to kick it in mid-air. Schofield there to paddle it through for a minor score. McGovern looks a little hurt behind play. And it's now a 25-point lead for the Bulldogs.
He's in the hands of the trainers here, McGovern. He does look very sore on the left side as the ball comes back into play. Lacroix. McGovern still in the hands of the trainers. This would be a big blow. McGrath spots up Hutchings. Finds him in half-back. Hutchings turns around, swings into the middle of the ground. Here they come. The ball was knocked away there. Beautifully done by McRae. It was meant for the Eagles in the middle. Look at the Dogs' numbers around the ball. Bonham-Pally peels off the handball out wide. Johannesson goes out, finds Hunter. Likes his left. Got Suckling there as a lefty as well. Hunter waits, props, stops, holds. Needs to go. Told by the umpire to go now. McGovern looks okay to continue. Ball goes deep inside. The Dogs attacking 50. Up they fly, no winner in the air. Players converge, appealing for the free of the West Coast Eagles players. And umpire Brett Roseberry says we're going to ball it up. 25 out from the Dogs' goal mouth. They lead it by 25.
I saw the package give Clay Smith a little gobful. Get out of my space. I'm trying to run into space. Get out of the way.
Lysa taps it down to Hearn for the Eagles. Quick kick up towards left half back. 3 against 2. Dogs favour. Morris pushed in the back. No free kick. Hamling there to help him out. To Suckling. Now to Johannesson. Wheels around and kicks it. Back inside attacking 50. Pack forms. Barras with the fist. Ball bounces in the direction of Bontempelli. To Liberatore. To Boyd. Caught in a tackle. Brought to ground. Ball comes out the back. Quick kick forward. Smith kicks a goal. The Eagle fans will be spewing. The Doggies celebrating another one. They're 8-7-55. The Eagles 3-6-24. 5.5 gone in the third term. That's on the Triple M Beaumont Toll scoreboard.
Eagles stiff there. Boyd surely holding the ball. But anyway, umpire says play on.
In a final, absolutely.
And Smith made the most of it. I tell you what the Dogs are doing at the moment. They're getting the game played in the forward half in this third quarter. They're setting up well behind the football, getting good forward line pressure. The Eagles are under the pump in their defensive 50. They're not clearing the ball out well enough for mine, and they're getting a lot of repeat inside 50 entries at the moment. Inside 50 entries in this third quarter, 7-1 in favour of the Dogs.
Chemist Warehouse replay. He took them on, but in fairness to Buddy, they actually didn't close him down, and when he went to ground, he got the handball out, so...
Maybe fair enough.
He had a long time, but yeah.
Beaumont Tile scoreboard, 31 points. Johannesson comes screaming through the middle. Long ball. Little bit of a push in the back. Umpire's called play on. Boyd, this is Tom trying to soccer. Barras, I've given up on the other interpretation. Goes out wide to Maston. High ball knocked away from him by Pickin. They lock it inside 50. Hutchins was there. Ball over the line out of bounds. Will throw it in. Dogs retain it in their forward 50 here. They lead it by an equal game high, 31 points here at the moment, the Dogs.
Just walked it out of the guts again, the Doggies. And the clearance work's been fantastic tonight.
9 gone in this third term. Lysa trying to get front position. Boyd comes over the top through the hands of Prittis. He dives on the footy. Dalhouse all over the top of him. Shepherd, hand pass to Gaff. He missed the ball. The kick off the ground and worked to the favour of the Eagles, although Butler stood and waited, then went to get the footy. Now to Brown, his tackle, and then turnover. His hand pass straight to a Bulldog who quickly kicks inside attacking 50. Paddled forward by McGovern, straight to the hands of Dalhouse. Ball bobbling around. Stringer there, putting the pressure on. Ball paddled to the boundary and will throw it in right on the 50. Forward half of the ground for the Western Bulldogs. They lead it by 31.
Stringer pleading for the free then. He'd lined up to take it.
You cannot touch it. Still only the 5 hard yakkers. Your bottom 6 where you win your finals games of footy for West Coast Crips. Yo, Sheed, Lysette, Hill. No more than 7 touches each.
Okay, here's Dunkley, been quiet as well. Little handball gaff. Goes back into trouble here. Bonompelli went to get it, didn't have it, was slung. And I think he'll get a free here, Bonompelli. 35 metres out, directly in front for Marcus Bonompelli to put them up by 37.
And fair enough too, Louis. It was Sherrod Wellingham. The tackle lingered. Ball spilt free. And Sherrod Wellingham brought Bonompelli to the ground. So, terrific start to the third quarter. They're up and about, the Dogs. Their intensity has not dropped off whatsoever. And Bonompelli, huge moment.
Huge kick here. Huge kick for the Dogs. 30 out, directly in front. Bonompelli comes in and misses. He misses. So a 32-point advantage here for the Western Bulldogs on the Beaumont Tile scoreboard. By the way, tradies, for a week's worth of T-shirts free, buy 10 bags of CD8 adhesives this week and they're yours. That's big.
Hearn plays on from fullback in the direction of Kennedy. He outbustles his opponent well, read the footy nicely.
See, that
he had
kick's
to get
going
the
to be
footy
big.
at right half back.
That kick from the Bont's going to be big.
Yeah.
He goes short out towards the wing. Maintaining possession through Marston underneath the scoreboard. Plays on quickly.
Huge kick, Louis. I agree with you.
Kicks it along the line. And a good mark taken by Dixon at left half back. In fact, it's Wood who's taken the mark.
A massive breakdown going on at the moment. West Coast up forward. Kennedy's down searching for footy and no one able to play the stay-at-home forward role.
He kicks towards the wing. Barras. You're now stuffing me up, BT. He got the punch away now with Butler. His short kick puts his teammate in Hutchings under pressure. Ball underneath the scoreboard on the wing. The Dogs are out.
Always offend the least amount of people, and that would be the Barras family. Look at this ball goes inside. Picken's taken a ripper in between two Eagles. 40 metres out on a 55-degree angle here.
Let's go back and kick the goal.
Marcus Picken. Liam Picking, sorry. There's a lot of them. He's one of them. So I'll stick with Picken.
Third contested mark tonight too.
Have a listen to this. Oh, it's gone quiet. It's gone quiet here at Domain Stadium because if he kicks this, they'll be a whopping 38 points in front of their fancied Eagles. Picken comes in. Liam, 45 metres out and he goes. They lead it by 38, the Western Bulldogs. Picken's got a couple. What a boil-over in the second elimination final.
He's having some kind of night. 2 goals, the 14 hard yakkers. He's an offensive weapon and he can do shutdowns. As we said, started on gaff for 5 or 6 minutes, but been backed in to hunt the footy and sneak forward, and just the Eagles having all sorts of trouble getting out of their back half. But again, then picking a 2-on-1, just the better
strong,
position.
wasn't he?
Yep.
And they're just smacking the Eagles at the source in this third quarter. When you have a look at contested possessions, 20-14. When you have a look at clearances, 5-2 in favour of the Bulldogs, and they are converting those clearances into inside 50 entries, 10-1 in the third quarter in favour of the Dogs.
For McDonald's Triple M Rocks Finals footy. And we're bouncing in the middle again. Giles attacks it. He's tapped though to the ground. Lacroix gathers, wants the hand pass out wide to Hill. This is better ball movement now in the hands of Marston. Has to run backwards. The pressure, great. He goes by hand to Wellingham. Wellingham decides to bomb. Inside attacking 50. And a great mark at the back of the pack taken by Morris. And Morris, the veteran, will take it 35 out from his defensive goal. Kicks it out towards the wing. Little hustling and bustling. And Dixon's taken it against Wellingham. They're off now.
The handball to Johannesson. A little zippity doodah there from Johannesson. Sideways kick finds Hunter on his wrong right side, so he straightens up onto the left. Beautiful ball out to Dalhouse. He marks on the wing. Got a runner in Biggs. Didn't want it. Says to Dalhouse, keep creeping up. Dalhouse does. Now a kick inside 53-on-1 the Eagles' way. And a free kick. 40. They had him 3-on-1. They had caught him 3-on-1, the Eagles defenders, and they pushed him and gave away the free. He'll line up from 50.
They panicked. Bristol, big high footy coming in. They only had to ease a bit of body contact on him. And McGovern and co panicked, hit him hard.
Not sure if his kicking capabilities caught him. Man on the mark's at 48.
5 goals this year.
Yeah, but where from?
Well, I don't know. I reckon he can get the distance. It's whether he can get that far. Local's not loving this free kick count, but as we said, Chris, doesn't have to be even.
He's going to have to kick it from 50 metres out. He looks confident. He hasn't even looked at wanting to dish off, so that's a good sign for Dog fans. Cordy now to get him into the 40s. Wheels around, tries to get some leverage. Horrible ball. Short ball. Up it goes. Punch to the boundary line. And they'll maintain it in their forward 50, and it's a 38-point Dog lead.
I reckon you know whether a bloke can kick a goal or not when the teammates are still calling for it when he's on the way in. That might have been a giveaway. Yeah, it was the setup on it. Bruce, he went right angles at the end.
Shocking. Butchered it.
Fagel V-Power as the ball gets thrown back into play. Boyd tried to do something spectacular, but didn't come off, so we'll ball it up again. 25 out.
Like, we're laughing, but these kicks are big. Every time, if they can get another one and another one, all of a sudden it's too big a gap for the Eagles.
Certainly is.
I reckon it's within a goal of being too big now.
Butler's later tackle. Bontempelli going nowhere. It's a 38-point lead for the Western Bulldogs. We've now gone 13 and a half minutes in the third quarter. The Doggies, terrific. And they can't get it forward, though, here. West Coast just trying to bottle it up. Umpire says, give it to me again, and I'm going to give it to you, BT.
So ball up, 35 metres out from the Dogs' goal. They lead it by 38 points. I think if the Dogs get the next one, going to be very difficult for the Eagles to work their way back into this game. They're going to run out of time, even if they are good. Here's Smith. Got it out there. Caleb Daniel had a snap at goal, missed. And that is out of bounds on the full. So the margin will stay at 38. Crowd gone hush here at the moment, as their team, the West Coast Eagles, are under enormous pressure deep in their defence.
Well, I reckon they're asking that question, Bruce. How far is too far for this team?
McGovern with the kick out. Kennedy flying from the side. Can't take the mark. Brown gathers it, though, for West Coast to Marston. Gives it off to Lacroix. He torpedoes it up towards half forward. Straight into the hands, though, of Biggs for the Doggies. Make sure you play the Monopoly game at Macca's for a 1 in 5 chance to win great prizes instantly as Biggs comes to this broadcast side. Giles is the man in front. Has he taken the mark? He has. Paid the mark. Big Jono Giles has a 14% winning record in games.
Not great.
And it's not great at the moment. 9-8 plays 3-6. It's the Dogs by 38.
Needs to understand he's not a great kick, and they need to get around him for the handball. Here's a free kick against Hamling. Free kick's going to go to Lycett, I think. Lycett's got the ball here at half forward. Johannesson almost gave away 50 then. Lycett goes long and deep. Up they fly. Big pack there. No winner in the air now. It's a ground level ball. Umpire picks out a free kick. It'll go the Dogs' way. It'll go to Biggs. He wants to play on with a little kick. Dangerous it was to McCrae. McCrae gave the handball over the top to Daniel. Gee, they're flirting with their form here at the moment, the Dogs. Easton Wood, 20 metres from his defensive goal. Hammers the ball out of bounds on the full. In his efforts to find Johannesson, and Kennedy's got the free 60 out.
Just going to say they were really composed, but that's a bad mistake.
Long way from home. Kicks it high, inside attacking 50, the top of the square, good fist away from a couple of Dogs, and we'll throw it in a couple of metres around from West Coast goal. They're kicking to the city end of the ground. They trail by 38.
And that's a couple of the kills that Barras should have been doing at the other end.
Their pressure's been outstanding at the moment. The Dogs forcing West Coast long down the line. They're winning a lot of those contests.
Roughhead does well, though. He tapped it straight to Hutchings, unfortunately for the Bulldogs. The punch away to Dunkley, tied against the goal line. Goes by hand to Dalhouse. He gave it to Hamling, who was caught in a tackle. Is he in trouble? As the ball is forced through, is it for a minor score? Hamling very lucky to get away with that one. Hospital hand pass, 3-7 is the Eagles score. The Dogs 9-8. We've now gone 16 and a half in the third
Gone
term.
ultra nervy and negative here at the moment, the two ends. And there's another one out of bounds on the full. Gee, Gaff's going to get a shot from 35 out on the boundary line.
They're thinking about it, Briss. They are thinking about it. They can taste it, and they're starting to think about it.
Oh, boy, I reckon they're thinking scoreboard, like you say, Louis. Gaff's got the free, 35 out on the boundary line, wrong side for the left footer. So here is Gaff with a huge kick in this game. They are one kick away, the Eagles, from being in the game or out of the game. Up they go, big pack flies, mark's paid. It's a huge mark. And I think it may well be Hill. He's come from 4 deep. He's marked it on the edge of the goal square. And they've got to give him 10. He's gone on the most acute of angles. He's 1 metre inside the field of play, starting his run at the behind post. He's got the right foot, Nana. He's going to kick the goal, and he does. The Eagles live to fight another day. Beaumont Tile scoreboard. They're 31 points adrift with 8 minutes remaining in the third.
Just a little bit, some nervy times there in their defensive 50 here. The Dogs just haven't been able to clear the football. A couple of out of bounds on the full, but this particular time, Josh Hill, who's been pretty quiet in this particular game, but this is what he can do. He can stand up and take his moment. It was a wonderful moment for the Eagles because they are under the pump at the moment, but just a little bit of momentum here. You can sort of see the game starting to change a little bit. The Dogs have been terrific. A wonderful jump and grab there on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay from Josh Hill.
Embers up and about for Shell V-Power, designed to improve performance. It's the Dogs by 31. We're underway again. Roughhead gets the tap down. Shuey sharks it but couldn't pick it up in the end. Oh, he kicked it to his own advantage. That was tricky stuff. Got it out wide to Hutchings. Now in the hands of Marston. He kicks out towards right half forward. The kick from Yo inside 50. Darling needs to take the mark. Ball was punched away from him. Comes out the back. Brown kicks towards the goal square. Comes off the defender in Wood and rushed through for a minor score. The Eagles having a little purple patch.
Oh, they look like a bloke on his first date. He just doesn't know whether to cuddle or go full on. He's not sure what to do at the moment.
Arm up, arm down.
Yeah, do I put my arm around her? Will the mum mind? What will they say when I get home if I kiss her? Here's boy.
Cheek or lips, Bristle?
Oh, boy. Maybe even tongue-toe. Here goes Dalhouse into the middle of the ground. It's coming back again. Hearns mark. Turns around. Right foot slider. Up they go. Brown couldn't mark the ball. Off hands. Tom Boyd. Gang tackled by 3. The Eagles are finding great spirit at the moment. Ball up. 45 out from the Eagles' goal.
Tom Boyd just needs to show a bit of patience there. Took a really good long mark down the line. Quick little handball, but with the way the Eagles are playing at the moment, just a little bit of patience, see if he can maintain possession of footy.
Oh, free kick to the Eagles, and it's Prentice, the golden haired boy, will get the free, pushed in the back.
Dogs just need to slow this game down a little bit because the Eagles are coming. So when they've got the footy in their hand, they just need to make better decisions. Don't need to actually handball the ball quickly because the Eagles were able to put pressure on, get that repeat inside 50 entry, which is allowing this shot on goal from Matt Prentice.
A must kick for Matty Prentice from 45, right in front. Oh, he's crossed the boot. He's barely made the distance. That was disappointing. 9-8. 62 is the Bulldogs score. 4-9, 33. 20 and a half minutes now gone in the third term. That's on the Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
Sudden death final here. Loser eliminated. It's that simple. Kick in from Suckling. Out to Picken. Butler punches it to the boundary and we'll throw it in again. So they've locked it in their forward end and forward half here, the Eagles.
Tell you what, though, you're gonna have to kick those goals. Everyone's got to be a winner coming from so far back.
Dogs cannot find a way out. They have stopped. The crowd sense it. I reckon the Eagles players are sensing it as well. Here's a big one. Caleb Daniel wins it to McRae. Fast handball back to Liberatore. Prentice steals it off him. Fast handball, Yo Hutchings onto Lysette. Lysette from 50. Poor kick, horrible kick. Kennedy's got a chance. Kennedy dropped the mark in the end. It was a chesty running with the flight. Over the line now to bounds. Deep. Very, very deep in the West Coast attack zone. They are peppering the forward 50 at the moment.
29 points, the Doggies lead. It's inside forward 50 for West Coast. Lysett taps it down to no one in particular. Diving on it, Prentice gave it to Yo. Took on the tacklers. Caught, brought to ground. Umpire says we'll have another go at it.
That should have been holding the ball. Elliot Yo took on the tackler. Got wrapped up by Dixon.
It was on the Chemist Warehouse replay. Andrew Embley for Shell V-Power. Another tap. Lysett taps it down to his teammate. The kick forwards has been paddled over the line by Suckling. Fans for West Coast want deliberate. No way, says the umpire.
Full scores here at the moment. 4-9-33 the Eagles. 9-8-62 the Western Bulldogs. They have stopped to a walk here, the Dogs. Love to know the inside forward half of the ground stats in this quarter, Louis. I know you're over the hard yakkers. Here is Maston, got the ball where it intersects the boundary line on the 50s. Kick back inside has been marked by Roughhead. And Roughhead marks. Deep in defence. Boy, Louis got out of his seat to go and hunt for that stat.
I'm working for you, Bristol. I'm working for you.
Wasn't that desperate for it. Hard Yacker style. High ball they go again. Tom Boyne flies. Barnton Pally 3D. Off hands comes to Hearn. Got the handball to Lacroix. Got around Johannesson. Little handball inside the Cripps. Caught in the tackle by Morris. And the umpire said the ball was pinned. They are still, Andrew, under enormous pressure, the Dogs.
The West Coast Eagles have had the last 7 inside 50s.
Here's Shuey, grabs it, hand pass, not so good. Running after it, Liberatore couldn't trap it. Now the kick out towards the middle of the ground. Wing position coming through with Schofield. Punched it backwards. Shepherd there first for West Coast on the wing. Turns around, kicks over his shoulder. A good mark, Lysett's on one leg. Playing a good little third quarter. Decides to kick in the middle of the ground. Dangerous one. Yo needed to mark. He didn't. Daniel stole it from him. Through the middle of the ground they go. The man inside 50 will receive that kick and then go back. No, doesn't. Kicks towards goal. The Doggies are creaming them here at Domain Stadium. Dunkley has kicked a super goal. And on the Chemist Warehouse replay, Adam Simpson has just said, oh dear me, that may be game over.
How good is that? Absorb, just hanging tough, and then all of a sudden, slingshot, one chance, and away they go. Simo's absolutely spewing, but that's been the Dogs' MO all night, and they backed themselves again, and little Joshy Dunkley, he was about this high, BT, growing up in the rooms when I was up there. What a little champ.
No.
Poor switch of play from Scott Lysett, though. A long 50-metre switch into the middle off the ground. Turn the footy over as we have a little Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay on at the moment. Just can't do that because the Eagles were coming. They turned the footy over out the back. The Eagles defenders were caught out. Terrific play, Dogs.
Oh, boy, Louis just throwing himself into the picture there into that big goal.
No worries.
That was interesting, boy. Goodness gracious me. Wowee. Up
Get
they
on
go.
board, Chris.
Half-board line. Matty Boyd funneled out the little handball to Johannesson. He wanted it on the yo-yo. Came back to him, fortunately for him. Little kick by sideways, finds Suckling. Suckling marks on all fours.
Just the Prentice miss so big now. Loss of momentum. It was always going to happen. Dogs are going to have one crack at it, and they nailed it.
Half back line here. Suckling on the left boot, goes down the line. High footy it is on the head of Roughhead. He goes up, couldn't mark the ball over the back. It comes to Hutchings. Hutchings under Bonampally pressure. Bonampally got rid of him. Dixon clouded it, and another one banged him over as well. In the meantime, the ball goes over the line out of bounds. But I tell you what, the Dogs have finally got it into their half of the ground. Hasn't been in there for 5 3/4 minutes. 3:36 remaining in the quarter. Dogs by 35.
Ball thrown back into play. Lysett from behind, trying to gather it with Shuey. He ran a little quick for the football. Here's Daniel for the Bulldogs. Kicks towards half forward. Terrific mark being taken.
Roughhead.
And then another kick from Roughhead. Goes straight through the big sticks. The Dogs are barking. And the Eagles' wings have been clipped. 11-8-74 plays 4-9-33. They are dominating. 25 gone on the Triple M Beaumont Toll scoreboard.
Well, Embers, I reckon little Caleb Daniel won it in the clearance. Roughhead outstanding on the Chemist Warehouse replay. A quick kick, one-on-ones. And the Eagles defenders don't like it when they're isolated, having to defend one-on-one. And Roughhead just hit the ground running. And as cool as can be, just sliced it through the guts. Have a look at the clearance work. Big Tommy Boyd to Caleb Daniel. And again, McGovern, that man who loves to get off. Third man at the contest, doesn't like it coming the other way.
The voice of Dale Lewis on Triple M Football. Shell V-Power special comments. Shell V-Power design to improve performance. So 4-9-33 to 11-8-74. Dogs here at the moment in front have kicked 4 goals to 1 in this third quarter, even though the Eagles have owned the quarter. How has that worked out? Amazing stuff. Up they go, the Eagles here to half forward again. Suckling, little handball to Matty Boyd down on all fours. He couldn't do much about it. Prittis was there. It's a opportunity here for the Eagles at half forward. Comes out now to Liberatore. No, it wasn't. It was Johannesson towards the boundary line. Goes over the line out of bounds. It was on the full, but the boundary umpire didn't see it, and it'll be a boundary throw-in.
That was well done again. Good defending by the Doggies. Johannesson backed himself in. Little toe poke was neat. Just the ability to absorb the punishment. It's been fantastic by the Dogs.
41 points the margin. Ball thrown back in. Gathering it, Stringer. Been a little quiet, gets away a hand pass to Suckling. He kicks it out towards the wing. The last goal kicker, Roughhead, couldn't take the mark. Barris was there, punched towards the boundary line. Ball beats Butler over the line, and we'll have a throw in. Wing position here at Domain Stadium.
And the other big one too, Locke, is inside 50 count is 33, the Eagles 37. They can't generate a big enough number inside to give Kennedy and Darling the chance to kick the score.
Big fist from Boyd, but straight to Hearn. He had to stand and wait for it. Dishes it off now to Shuey, left half back. Good hand pass to Shepherd, to Butler. Now to Sheed. Back to Hearn. Hearn's kick needs to be spot on. It won't be though. Boyd, good attack on the footy at half back. Goes in to try and get it himself. Comes out the back. Johannesson couldn't gather it. Lecras hovering around. Ball bobbles towards Prittis, but in the end, Suckling did really well.
Handball to Bonampelli on the wing. Bonampelli squeezed the trigger, got it to Stringer. Stringer a long handball to Smith. The Liberatore picks it up. Liberatore turns around the corner. Cordy's got free here. Wellingham's got to close. Did well, Wellingham, not to give away the free, and mops up his own ball a little late in kicking the ball, slung by Smith, gets it to the pocket, out of bounds on the full. So this will be a free kick for Dixon in the forward pocket, just 20 metres out on a very, very acute angle.
How good was Suckling at half back? So slick, quick handball. Stringer involved.
I reckon he backs himself in here. He's a sharpshooter.
Dixon, he needs to take his time, face the middle of the ground and run around. Now he's got too close to the man on the mark. Why so close? Turns around and misses. The umpire was bringing him close to the man on the mark. Why?
We tried to sneak up and start on the boundary line. He corrected him. All he had to do is, there's no call until you walk back into play. He panicked.
Yep.
He tried to walk in and kick before he got back in play.
I'm amazed in those situations how players don't practice and understand what's going to happen in that situation.
And the rules are all in your favour. It's all on your terms.
42 points the Dogs lead. The kick out marked by Kennedy. He's so far up the ground. He ain't kicking goals there. The kick in the middle of the ground. Giles punched away from him. Shuey another possession. Marston 2. Little 1-2. Hand passes further afield to Yo. Yo goes for a bit of a run. At right half forward. Kicks it inside 50. A wobbler though. It was low. Straight to Morris. And then good tackle laid by Hill. Morris gave it off by hand. Hill tracked him down. Good tackle laid on McRae. And Hill will take the free kick outside 50.
Yeah, Yo tried to take the game on. He's had a stinker tonight.
He just bops it to the top of the square. Big flyers. Gaff at the bottom of the pack. Throws it out, trying to get it to his teammate. Now Sheed. His kick was smothered. Dogs with the numbers. The clearing kick, though, will go into the hands of Shepherd.
Yeah, Shepherd runs away there and kicks the ball long from Cordy. High ball. Pack flies. Big mark. Gee, that was a good mark. Was that Darling?
Yep.
Sensational grab. It's an acute angle. He's only 20 metres out, but he's only about 4 or 5 metres inside the boundary line. So a big kick to get it back to 36 points.
Brad Shepherd did really well there for the Eagles. Won the football back at half forward when the Dogs looked like they're going to clear. Good inside 50. Darling, such a big kick on three-quarter time.
4 goal to 1 quarter in favour of the Dogs. Darling threads the needle, no problem at all. They're obviously in desperate need of that. He's got a couple, Jack. Nice kick. in a time of great need. And the Dogs lead by 36 points, 11-9-75 to the Eagles, 5-9-39 on the Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
Yeah, Shepherd was outstanding. One-on-one, big one-on-one at that, just outside 50. Won it, hot little footy in, and Darling back with the fly to the footy, lost his man on work rate. It's a really, really good contested mark.
A little bit of perceived pressure there on Dunkley. I reckon he had a bit more time to be able to clear that football. You slam the ball on the boot.
They got nervy, haven't they, this last 7 or 8 minutes? They've been able to hang tough, but they got nervy for a while and let the West Coast back in the door, but been able to just hang on.
Louis and Embers doing their bit for Shell V-Power, designed to improve performance. And it's back to a 36-point margin. The Dogs dominant all day. Can they hold on? Trying to get it out of the middle is McRae. He was caught in a tackle. Tanya Armstrong for Bob Jane. Teammates on the boundary.
Yeah, there's not many Doggies fans here, but they are very loud. They're up and about. West Coast Eagles fans pretty much stunned silence.
Coming in pretty confident, the Eagle fans. They've been silenced as Dalhouse gathers it and handballs it off to a running Boyds. And another impressive corner from the Western Bulldogs. They led it by 36 points. The Doggies, 11-9-75. West Coast, 5-9-39. We'll hear from Dale Lewis and Andrew Embley straight after a short break for McDonald's Triple M Rocks Finals Footy.
Quarter time to Main Stadium for McDonald's Triple M Rocks Finals Footy. 36-point lead to the Western Bulldogs. 11-9-75 leading West Coast, 5-9-39. Triple M hard yakka stats. Louis, what have we got for a couple there?
Well, inside 50 count is the intriguing one. 38 plays 36 right now at Bristol, which is not generating anywhere near what the West Coast are normally. They're a 55-60 team. The best one, though, contested possession's the big one. The Dogs just with their noses in front. They were going to break even there. They were always going to be a massive chance tonight, big man.
Not his best stats, Cross, but
oh dear,
we'll give it to him.
Goes to me without notice.
Go downstairs.
Just all over it. I'm sitting there just relaxing.
I would have said something different, but anyway.
Been happening for 20 years, the stats call. Bob Jane team hearts. Let's get down to Tanya.
Yeah, amazing performance from the Western Bulldogs when you consider that Lin Jong missed that entire third quarter. His night was over in the second term when he fell heavily in a tackle on his right shoulder. Could even be a collarbone. He's sitting in the dugout now with his right arm in a sling. And Scotty Lysett, the West Coast Eagles ruckman, he is on one leg. Can't hardly jump with that knee injury.
Here is Andrew Embley with his thoughts on Triple M footy.
Well, the stats are pretty even at the moment, but for mine, it's been the Dogs' forward line that have really stood up. We've spoken a lot about the West Coast Eagles defenders, the way they want to come off their man and intercept marks, but the Dogs have been a lot more efficient when they've gone inside their forward 50. They've made the Eagles defenders play on someone tonight more than what they've done in the past. And the Eagles defenders are under the pump a little bit. They're rolling the dice, which they have to at the moment, but the thing is, you get hurt on the counter-attack, and we saw that when the Eagles were coming in that third quarter in particular. The Dogs were able to actually make the Eagles pay by turning the football over and getting them out the back.
Oh, fantastic image. And the other one I was trying to say, Priscilla, is you can't measure heart. Heart's not on the stat sheet, not in there in a computer. It's out there in the Doggies jumper.
Himself. Come on, Lockie Reid.
The Dogs by 36.
McGovern's gone
Triple
forward.
M Rocks Footy. McGovern forward as we get it underway this final term. Can West Coast come back into this game? Here's Shuey hovering over the top, trying to inspire him. Prittis gets away a hand pass. Back in the square to Shepherd. Up in that direction of McGovern, trying to get in the front position. Daniel did well. Read it beautifully. Gave it off to Biggs. His kick forward is good to Bottenpelli on the wing. Has a runner in Picken. Tied against the boundary. Ball bounces awkwardly. He nearly slipped over there and threw it on the boot to the top of the 50. Punch came down. Smith breaks off the tackle. Now it's in the hands of Dixon. He has to go back by hand. They're working it now. Oh, and they're running without it. It's disappointing with Bottenpelli. He's had a quiet evening.
Libra went in and got it, handed it to Dunkley. Dunkley banged it forward. Tom Boyd over the back of him. They queue up. Barras, Hair Stringer, got rid of one. Little right foot kick around the corner. Got it into the goal square. It might get over the top. Touched. Dixon. Now they've got to tidy up. Maston and Gaff combined. They are 36 points down here, the Eagles. Going to take a monumental comeback here as Bottenpelli got clipped around the scone and received the free 60 out.
When they get the first goal of this last quarter, it is all over for the Dogs.
Well, the kick inside 50. Boyd flew high and nearly took a terrific mark at the top of the square. And now the ball will have to be bounced 15 out from the Dogs' goal.
He's having an almost night, big Tommy Boyd. Got a bit of hands on it. And good to see the Bont come back. Dropped an easy one. Put his head over it. Stood strong.
Visitors lead by 36 points. Gave it off to Dunkley. From 15 metres, he's kicked it. Round the corner corner. He's kicked his seconds, and you'd say that's game over. The Doggies, sensational. Far too easy. 12-9-81. The Eagles 5-9-39. That is on the Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboards.
He's earned his keep. A couple of goals tonight, Dunkley. And again, just that little flick of the hands to get it out to a bloke. Quick on the boot. And the Eagles' defence caught napping, Embers.
How good are they batting close tonight, the Dogs? Been so slick with the handballs. Set up really well as stoppages. That was just clean hands. And Dunkley at the back of the contest. Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay. Great stoppage. Third man up. And just really good hands. Comes out the back and snaps the goal.
They're not desperate enough, Bristol. The Eagles have been sort of just waiting for it to happen all night.
Just a hard-nosed outfit. Did mention that before the game, I think.
Yep.
Pritis, they're very hard, very heavily, highly contested ball team. And another ball up in the middle here. So full scores, 5-9-39 the Eagles, 12-9-81 the Western Bulldogs. Here you can hear it, listen to this. 50,000 people here and not a peep, because they are all thinking right at the moment, she is over.
Yeah.
We're out of it.
Should we try and leave, or do we wait for a bit longer?
Yeah, do we support or do we risk being booed as we walk the terrace? It's just about all over here. Hamling goes up, knocks the ball down. Eagles go into attack again. Little handball by Shuey, sets up Butler. Butler high ball, but Kennedy had already shot his bowl. Big pack forms, McGovern over the top. Off hands Kennedy, had a ping stop by Morris. Morris needs help. Got it to the boundary line. Caleb Daniel happy for it to run over, and it did. And a boundary throw in inside the attacking 50 for the Eagles.
Caleb Daniel's pressure on Kennedy was really good there. Kennedy at the back of the contest was going to have a snap, and Daniel just came in. Enough pressure to force this ball out of bounds.
Andrew Evie, Fischel, V Power. We throw it in. 35 around from the Eagles' goal. Yo can't pick it up. Bontempelli hands it off to Hunter. Now with Kennedy. Kennedy gives it to Gaff. To Marston, to Pritis. Can he inspire his team from 45? Kicks inside the goal square. Lacroix with the flight has taken an awesome mark. Back with the pack. And juggled it onto his chest.
And 50.
And 50.
Which was
so
1.5.
Gives him another metre. He'll stand there, deliver an important 6-pointer. Breathing some life back into the game. 4 minutes gone. It's 12-9-81. The Eagles are 6-9-45. Lacroix finally on the scoreboard.
Yeah, good courage. Back with the flight. But tell you right now, Bristol, Jake Stringer. Intriguing. Brought back in after a couple of weeks in the seconds, Embers. Had a chance to smash Gaff then at the top of the arc with a big bone-crunching tackle not to allow the ball to get out. We saw Luke Beveridge talk to him at three-quarter time and have a bit of a chat about your work rate and a few other bits and things. I reckon right now he's probably got 25 minutes if he doesn't want to make himself real nervous next week to actually do something out here and show he can actually contribute to this team when it's not trying to kick highlight packages.
Well, with Jong out of the side, he probably won't be nervous, but he should be. Because he's right on the cusp. As you say, going to be watching him closely in this last quarter. But he hasn't exactly fired, but he can explode and he can deliver the package.
Just the 8 hardjackers for the night.
Okay, not great. In the meantime, the umpire not happy with his bounce in the middle, so that'll be recalled and we'll do it again. Goal apiece in the last quarter here. And the Dogs by 36. Plenty of time on the clock here for the Eagles.
McGovern in there now too for an extra midfielder as the ruck.
Have to play perfect footy. Here's Pritis. The extraction out of the middle, not complete. Cut off by Bontempelli. Bontempelli turns around on the left boot. High ball. Here they go. The Dogs attacking 50 again. Cordy. What a beautiful punch away. Diving, lunging attempt from the West Coast Eagles defender and Mitch Brown. Over the line, out of bounds. We'll throw it in deep for the Dogs.
It's a bit too easy though, the Bont. And again, the clearance work's been fantastic by the Dogs.
36 points, the Doggies lead. Ball thrown in. 2 Eagles go up. Barrison. McGovern comes back down to Dunkley. The goal kicker, he's kicked the couple, the kick tapped away by Gaff. Now it's in the hands of Hunter, tight against the boundary line. Will spin around on his left, kick it through for a minor score. So close, only 35 out for Lockie Hunter. 12-10-82, plays 6-9-45. Time ticking away for the West Coast Eagles, 6 gone in this final term.
There's no value for their clearance work. 30 apiece tonight, but the Dogs are getting far better value having to walk it out and continually hit targets with that really sharp, crisp handball.
Haven't had that depth of midfielder fire tonight. I mean, Ember spoke about it before the game, how they've got about 8 players, but they just haven't gone deep enough tonight. We know they're there as Smith takes a good mark, 45 out directly in front, but they haven't been able to find the space with their Bulldog opponents. So Smith will line up for goal. He's already kicked one here.
Suckling.
And he gives it off to Suckling, who's the beyond 50 kicker, and he hits the post. So minus score, 38-point differential here at the moment in favour of the Dogs. And the Dogs look like they're going to play the loser of Geelong and Hawthorn tomorrow night.
Hearn decides to go long out of his defensive half. Lysett tapped it down to Prittis. His hand pass cut off. Suckling to Bontempelli. Again through centre forward. His kick went straight into Yo, but straight to Daniel. Shrugs off the tackler. Gives it back to Bontempelli. Caught high. At the top of the 50, the Bont will go back.
He can kick the 50.
Look, it hasn't been pretty, but they keep working, don't they? Running numbers. A man keeps turning up, and they ask the question of the defence every single time.
Just their pressure's been absolutely outstanding tonight, the Dogs. Just forcing West Coast into the turnover, and then that handball game. Slick handballs, getting the player out in the open. Just been persistence. They have showed massive heart, massive ticker.
There's a run-up.
Long run-up, and he'll have to launch it from 60 metres. Straight in front, Bontempelli. The star dog loads it up, kicks towards goal. You betcha, baby! The Doggies are going through to next week. Bontempelli, the star, does the job. 13-11-89. The Eagles are stuck on 6-9-45, and they're gone. September is over.
He's had a horror night. He hasn't handled the footy well. He got tagged early. But gee, you can teach Jake Stringer a lesson how to hang around and play a game of footy. Yeah, well, staying involved, Embers.
He's pushed forward and he's just made the most of limited opportunities tonight. Hutchins has done a good job on him. He missed a shot in the third quarter, but I tell you what a goal here in the last quarter. Clutch kick, and Bontempelli, the young gun, delivers.
So a 44-point lead here now for the Western Bulldogs. You would think that that's insurmountable with 15 minutes of footy left. Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard. Beat the heat and get your air conditioner installed now at Harvey Norman. Out of the middle they go again. The kick of Liberatore. What a comeback it has been for him in the first half when the going was real tough. He was real good. Tom Liberatore, the boy out of the Calder Cannons footy factory. Ian Kite down there. Here's Gaff, goes out wide, high footy. Mark taken there by Hill. And Hill on the half-back line for the West Coast Eagles.
18 Hardiakas for Tommy Liberatore on his return.
This is off the handball to Gaff. Maybe just happy to get a game under his belt. Little turnover here. Dalhouse. Gee, the fast hands, aren't they? Very, very effective. Liberatore kicks the centre forward. What a good mark. That was taken there by Cordy. And Cordy has marked the ball 52 metres out.
Decides to play on quickly. He's got a man loose, and that man is Bontempelli.
Well, it's unravelling now, big time. It's been threatening too. The Dogs have got a sniff. They want to ice this one nicely.
So he'll kick from the angle where the Eagles run out. 35 it'll be. Bontempelli already kicked one just a few moments ago. 10 minutes gone. There's that big cheer squad of the Bulldogs.
15.
As Bontempelli comes in. 35 outs. Leading around to try and sneak it through, but it's a poster for Bontempelli. Disappointing finish in the end, 13-12-90. That's the Doggies score. 6-9-45, West Coast 10.5 gone on the Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboards.
45-point lead here for Luke Beveridge and his team. Inside 50s. They have had the last 5 consecutive inside 50s here. The Western Bulldogs. High ball by Wellingham. Boyd, that's Tom in front. Couldn't hold the mark. Gee, Caleb Daniel threaded the needle through there. Got it to Hamling. Hamling out the back door to Matty Boyd. He's just playing with all Australian flair and class at the moment. Got it to Dixon. Dixon rolls it over the top to Johannesson. Couldn't run, but he did mark 55 metres out. Johannesson.
Do they have got to get to Matty Boyd during the week and say, mate, we better give you a deal?
Yeah.
Sign him up
again tonight. He don't care if you just sign him game by game. He couldn't give a stuff. He just wants to play. High ball, top of the square. The players know where that's going now. Shuey happens all the time. Little clearing kick, little bit of luck there. Picked up by McGovern. Squared it off to Gaff. Gaff's kick got to be precise. Darling had a little bo peep. Darling had a big bo peep there. Dunkley was coming at him. That's very embarrassing. racing in a final. Johannes and the Bigs, back to Dunkley, on to Suckling. That won't be a moment that he'll like. Now little handball by Smith, back inside to Caleb Daniel. Little right foot kick out wide to Stringer, and Stringer is marked. He says to his teammates, I haven't had a lot of the footy, I need this goal.
Yep.
From 52 metres out on the boundary line, Jake Stringer.
Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay. Jack Darling coming back with the fight of the football, and he's had a moment that he would not like to look at again.
Never live it down.
When he worked out it was only a little kid called Josh Dunkley coming to.
Jake Stringer from 5 metres inside the boundary line. Jack Darling coming off the ground. Stringer lines up and kicks a lovely goal. What a goal!
Get around
Look at Jake Stringer. Gee, the package finally delivered. The postman's arrived. Jake Stringer kicks the goal late in this one, and they lead it by 51 points on the Harvey Norman scoreboard.
And the Bulldogs players looking around for Jack Darling, and Adam Simpson did Jack Darling a favour and dragged him straight to the bench.
Oh, boy.
For Bob Jane teammates, Tanya Armstrong.
Yes, Jack Darling straight on the phone to Adam Simpson as he came to the dugout. The Eagles players in the dugout distraught, heads in hands.
Could be a worse moment than that drop mark
Oh, I tell you
from
what.
the grand final of last year for Jack Darling.
Everybody's had their moments. They just don't want them on the big stage, and it's a couple now, but how good the package finally gets himself involved. Bristol can get around the boys in the showers and be up for a good reason.
And they're out of the middle again, the Western Bulldogs. The kick, though, from Daniel will be cut off, and running away with it, Yo gives it to Wellingham. He kicks it along the line. Johannessen's there, touched it first. Hutchings gathers it, hand passes straight to Priddis, who's caught in a tackle straight away, McRae, and then he tucks it in underneath Pritter. And the umpire says that's okay. We'll ball it up tight against the boundary, wing position. It's the Dogs by 51 points, 14-12-96. Plays West Coast 6-9-45.
3-1 last quarter here at the moment for the Dogs. Caleb Daniel played a ripper, got the little handball to Dalhouse. He was good early. Hearn just muscles him out of the way. Eagles come in through Butler, pick up the ball, get the handball on to Hutchins. Short kick. Hutchins looking for Kennedy, didn't have enough on it. Trying to round him up as Hamling. Kennedy keeps it alive, needs help. Little soccer skills there by McRae. Got it to Daniel. Daniel's handball gobbled up here by Kennedy. Tackle to the ground. Umpire calls play on. Here's Picken. Just come off the interchange area. Popped up the little handball to Dixon. The give and go back to Picken. Bang the ball by boot up towards Tom Boyd. Tom Boyd flies in front. Couldn't hold the mark. Wellingham's got it. Clay Smith's got him. Slung him to ground. Cordy didn't know what to do. Didn't know whether to sock it. Didn't know whether to handball it. Didn't know whether to get it. Dalhouse there as well. Smith went in and got it. Little handball back out. Found time and space for Dixon. Dixon looks inside. He said, not this time. Don't want to go there just yet. So he lines up Tom Boyd down the boundary line. He probably should have marked that, Tom. He doesn't. Cordy, Schofield, out the back. Finally, Shepherd bangs it forward.
Check side, up towards the wing. Giles decided to punch, should have taken the mark. Here's Johannesson. He mops it up and kicks to centre half back. Biggs has taken it, told to play on. Lobs one over the top to McRae. Time ticking away now. The Doggies have been awesome. The short kick great to Liberatore. He's racked him up as well. Beautiful kick from Liberatore out wide. And Bontempelli again up forwards, taking the mark.
A massive chance to inflict some big pain here, Embers, and finish this right off.
Well, it's 51 points chance at the moment.
We've been waiting for the West Coast to come back. I tell you what, it's gone the other way. The Dogs, their intensity, they are running harder than the West Coast Eagles. John's out of the game, 3 on the bench, and they have just been magnificent.
One every quarter, haven't they?
Boyd's kicked it forward. Hunter's taken the mark.
I reckon the other one too is the play-on style of footy has not allowed West Coast to set up their web behind the footy and get those defenders one off, and they've had to defend and really struggle with tempo.
Hunter's kick superb. The mark even better from Bontempelli. The kick sensational inside 50. Dalhouse takes the mark on the chest. The Bont has been a star in this final term.
And so is this man, Dalhouse. Set it up in the opening half, led from the front, was outstanding. Deserves to cap it off.
Coming up for the disposal, number 27. He's already got a goal, 8 tackles. He has been enormous again.
Some cheers for Bontempelli as he rests. Stringer back on, but it's all about Dalhouse. It's the Doggies by 51. He can certainly shut the door here from 45. And he's missed to the left-hand side. Doesn't really matter in the scheme of things because they're going to win nice and easily. 16.5 gone. It's 14-13-97. Plays 6-9-45.
Andrew Embley, ask you, 52 points up with about 9 minutes to go. What are you thinking if you're the Western Bulldogs? Get a thought in the next break of play about protecting yourself for the next week, if you're at all thinking about that. Sheed, handball to Hutchings. Always wondered what the players sort of feel about having to play the last 5 minutes knowing they can get injured. Here's Cripps. Cripps is ganged up on.
He's had a mare, Cripps.
Biggs to Hunter. Hunter to Tom Boyd. Tom Boyd shovels it back to Biggs. Biggs kept it alive around the boundary line, over the line, out of bounds. What do you think, Andrew?
Can't think about it too much, BT. I think once you think that you're going to get through the last 10 minutes, I think that's when injuries actually do happen. John, we know, is out of the game, so it's not like they can afford to actually get a couple of guys off the bench. They need to continue their rotations to take the pressure off the side. And they've been an enormous effort so far from the Dogs. But you certainly wouldn't want to take the mind off the boil.
Well, there's a kick forward from Liberatore, and it's bounced through for a minor score again. Lin Jong, the big story, obviously his injury.
Yeah. And what about on that? Is there one player that you think about protecting? So do you look, if you're for instance Geelong, would they look at getting Patrick Dangerfield off in the last 5 minutes of a game, or is everyone equal?
Buddy Franklin, Sydney, Patrick Dangerfield, Geelong, maybe. Liberatore has been terrific today. He's coming off a big injury. He may be one you might just want to rest up in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
How good's this bloke?
Yeah.
He had the dive smother just before, 51 points up, and it's just built on his game. Had a couple of nervy moments
early on, didn't he? Yeah.
He's been fantastic.
Went to the middle of the gown to Johansson. He'll go short again. Cordy takes it at the front of the square here at Domain Stadium. It's the Dogs by 53 points. What a night it's been for them. Were the underdogs going into the game, but they've been sensational. The kick out wides to Daniel, second in the Rising Star during the week.
See, what a season. This little man overlooked, too small, and they always do it, Briss. They always pop up lock and make you look silly.
Oh, now they're trying to feed Stringer here.
Yeah, see?
And look at he's getting every metre on the mark. He said the umpire getting back. Now he's 55 out. Now Embers.
Umpire said touch ball, BT. You're not going to one of those nights for Stringer. Poor old big Jakey.
Stringer is filthy because he knows that every possession for him is absolutely crucial.
Oh, look at come on, Jake.
Oh, he's kicked his big goal in the last quarter.
Come on, you've had 2 days in Perth. You're all right.
You pay those marks. That is up. So he does the ruck work, and he got a stat out of that anyway. So very nice work from Jake Stringer as Lockie Hunter sees the ball over the line and out of bounds. We'll throw it in.
Well, if there's 42,000 people at the start of the game, there's probably 25,000 left. They have all gone home, the West Coast Eagles supporter. It's been one of their worst performances for the year. Terrible to do that in a final.
42,079 in attendance tonight here at Domain Stadium, seeing most of their supporters, seeing their team lose. The kick inside 50, mark taken by Wellingham, not paid.
There you go.
Rule.
The umpire has called play on, the other umpire's called mark.
Umpire Schmidt found his
it was probably a mark too. I thought Sherrod Wellingham was really good under the footy there.
Has taken the mark and slow to get up. His Liberatore will keep an eye on him as Wellingham kicks over. And it bounces just before the boundary line. We'll throw it back in. 70 out from goal. Liberatore okay now. Gets up a little slowly. It's still the Doggies by 53. They're home and hosed. 19, nearly 20 minutes gone in this final term.
So Matty Boyd comes for a spell. Wouldn't mind betting, as Embers mentioned before, that Libber is probably one player you would protect. A little bit iffy with injury. Had a long time off. Wouldn't want him pulling a muscle. They sent him deep forward here at the moment just to try and hide him a bit. 7 minutes to go in the game. 53-point Dog lead.
So the other one too, Bruce. So important for the Dogs to win one. Had all that great season last year. First year with Beveridge. Adelaide got hold of him in a shootout. They just fell short. Get over tonight with the year they've had with injuries. Just so they know they're progressing. They know if they can get healthy, they're a massive show.
Got a little bit of depth too. A guy like McLean can come back into this side for Jong.
Yep.
They came with a plan tonight. They saw him 2 weeks ago here and they were just dreadful, the Dogs, and they thought about what they wanted to do. They wanted to attack the West Coast Eagles through the corridor. They wanted to apply pressure. They wanted to link up and see if they get the Eagles out the back, and they've been able to do that tonight. It's a terrific effort from Luke Beveridge and the coaching committee at the Western Bulldogs.
So all of that adds up to a Dog lead of 53 points. And the game has gone into meltdown now because no one cares, really. I mean, if we're being honest with everyone, the Dogs don't want to get hurt, and the Eagles can't win, and the crowd are not sure what to think. They don't know whether to go, stay, come, clap, applaud, cry. They just don't know. Free kick goes the way here in the forward 50 for the Western Bulldogs. In fact, it'll just be a ball up.
It's amazing to watch the doggies up close on this big deck. The intensity and the pressure and the heat they've been able to have all night, Embers, something we didn't know whether they could do.
Never ideal to make 5 changes heading into a final, but I tell you what, those 5 players that have come in have had an impact tonight.
They'd be wrapped.
And Luke Beveridge has just done a terrific job with this young group.
Must have had more work into those players than we'd known about, I reckon. There's Boyd doing the ruck work, Giles. Dalhouse got a bit of a falcon in the head. Picked up here by Hunter. Bangs a high ball and a minor score.
Flip side of that as well, BT. The West Coast Eagles bringing Mitch Brown into the side as an iffy one to play him as a forward. Hasn't played forward at all. Hasn't worked.
Hearn plays on from fullback. He kicks into the middle of the ground. Kennedy's taken another mark. Hasn't been amongst the goals today. Just had one great kick out of the corner of his eye. He saw a running Cripps. He gathers the foot. He runs towards 50. Good defensive effort, though, from Hamlin just to slow him down. Gaff receives the kick, takes the mark outside 50. Darling wants it. Hearn was standing there to load up. Now Gaff just kicks it high in the direction of Hill. Jumping early. Got pushed out of it. Back there is Picken. Gives it to Johannesson. The Dogs with all the answers all night. And then they'll come out to this members' side. Good kick into the hands of Dixon.
Oh no.
He's done his hammy. So Dixon's done his hamstring. Either that or cramp.
You hope it's cramp.
He'll come straight off. We won't know.
It's hammy.
That is a hamstring. So this is what we say about players in the last few minutes of a game. Dixon comes off. The doctors get up. He stretches that in disbelief. And he is gone. I reckon he is holding the hamstring. That is not a cramp.
No, that's
otherwise
hamstring.
he'd still be in cramp.
That's a hammy. He just clutched at that straight away. That's shocking news for the Dogs.
Bad news over the top to Hunter and Liberatore. Here's 2 players they're trying to hide down the forward end at the moment as Caleb Daniel comes on. Dalhouse saw as he comes off as well. No doctor there for him because they're all working on Dixon. Boy, I hope that's cramp, but it didn't look like it. And at the moment, 6-9-45 the Eagles, 14-15-99 the Dogs. 54-point leaders.
Brisk, couple of goals, 2 goals, 2, 18 disposals, 2. Real key in their dynamic up
3
forward.
goals the week before against Fremantle as well, Dixon. And we're just trying to watch his body language. Let's go to Tanya on the boundary for Bob Jane T-Marts.
The good news is he doesn't look too distraught. He hasn't thrown anything. He hasn't thrown his mouthguard or the water bottle, Tory Dixon. So hopefully it is just cramp. And Luke Dalhouse, he's had his knee strapped all night, just hobbling a little bit, but just getting a bit of work in the groin as well.
Massage.
Yeah, 2 trainers massaging both hamstrings. So when you have a look at that, that's actually not a bad sign for Dixon. So let's hope it's just his cramp.
So fingers crossed as the Eagles work it down this broadcast side. Kennedy can't take the mark. Picken will gather the footy. Got the hand pass from Eastonwood. Blow the siren, that's what we need. 24 and a half minutes gone. The Doggies are marching on in September for another week at least. They're leading by 54 points here at Domain.
I reckon the greatest compliment to a coach is that the game ends up looking exactly the way the opposition thought it would. And that kicked them 1 on 4 in favour of the Doggies. That long down the line, that's exactly how it was supposed to be for the West Coast.
So the Dogs just trying to manage their players through the bench here at the moment. Little one over the top comes to Caleb Daniel, who's had an absolute cracker. He's the leading possession getter on the ground at the moment for the Western Bulldogs. 32 touches. They're not interested in scoring at the moment as Picken sends it back to Johannesson. So there's 3 minutes left in this game now.
Bit of practice, just
Dogs by
ice in the
54.
clock.
And the Eagles, when a season's over, I mean, if normal footy and a round of footy, you'd still have a crack, but Dixon's up and walking about, looks okay. Short little ball to Boyd. And Dixon doesn't look too unhappy, not getting any further attention. He won't play any further part in this game, but he looks okay, so that's good news. Now Boyd. Boyd sends a long ball up to the wing. Bontempelli over the top, kills it to the boundary, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Still the Doggies by 54.
Tell you what, it's going to have to rank somewhere up there in one of their best finals wins. Written off except for everyone from the great man Bristol. It was all over him with Steve-O pre-game, the rest of us.
He tipped him, did he, BT?
Yeah, we couldn't get enough on.
Mike Sheen, the great Mike Sheen, he spoke about an upset this weekend. He thought it actually might have been the Dogs. Well, he was right.
And up on the Chemist Warehouse replay, somber looking Adam Simpson as the Eagles.
Somber, he's going to blow a lid.
He might just
Going to blow
throw
an
something.
absolute lid in there, Lock.
The ball kicked up towards half forward for West Coast, but it'll be cut off. Suckling will gather it, 30 out, then he was tackled, brought to ground, it'll be a free kick. The Eagles will cheer, and there's a bit of a Bronx cheer there, but you've been smashed. Absolutely smashed. 54 points is the margin, and the free kick will go West Coast way. Elliot Yeo will take it 30 metres out straight in front.
I reckon Simo might even sit there for a while after this one, because he is perplexed that they can be in such red-hot form, and I tell you, he'll be blaming the bye, Briss.
Yep.
So Yeo from 30 metres out has missed. Kicked it off the side of his boot, and it sums up the evening for West Coast. It's now 53 points, the margin.
How is that possible, this level, Embers? Bristol, you're a goal-kicking coach from way back. How does that happen?
Not that long ago.
No,
But anyway,
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
I just don't care. It's all over bar the shouting here, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, but gee, I mean, he's one man. He's part of that mid-tier group that has not fired tonight. No, he's not fired for West Coast. Dom Sheed hasn't fired. Cripps hasn't fired. Maston hasn't really been able to link up and run. Wellingham hasn't got enough footy. Shannon Hearn hasn't got anywhere near enough footy and run and carry.
Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard, 53-point lead at the moment with the Western Bulldogs, one of their great finals victories away from home. Hard to win here, come here not only 2 weeks ago as well, so even better when you consider that. Here's Dalhouse, one of their very best players. So they are going to play the loser of Geelong Hawthorn, we think, next Friday night. I'm not sure why we think that, but we do. So the ball goes forward, up goes Kennedy. He got a bit of a push and may well get a free kick here, Kennedy, I think. In the pocket he does. So they'll play the loser of Geelong Hawthorn, the Western Bulldogs. Kennedy doesn't waste any time, plays on, kicks it around the corner and kicks the goal. So he's got two. He kicked the first goal of the game and he may well have kicked the last goal of the game, Josh Kennedy. And the last game of his year with under a minute remaining. 47 points, is it? 7-10-52 to 14-15-99, the Western Bulldogs.
I reckon Joe Hennison a little stiff there. Chemist Warehouse replay just went to balance and just got him off balance enough, and I think the crowd and the Eagles probably deserving of an easy free kick. They've had a tough night when it comes to the whistleblowers.
41 inside 50s to the West Coast Eagles in this game. You are not going to win any games of football when you go in as few times as that. They've got a potent forward line, the Eagles, but if you can't give them enough supply, and we've seen that tonight, it doesn't give an opportunity for that forward line to be able to go to work.
Shelby Power looking after Embers and Louis as McGovern is in the ruck. He taps it down to his teammate in Shuey. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Tanya Armstrong on the boundary. Tori Dixon.
Yes, he's up and about and he is trying to get back on the field. So obviously cramping that hamstring. That's good news for the doggies.
Absolutely sensational news as the tap down went to Liberatore. He's had a terrific game. Kicked it up towards centre half forward time. Continues to tick away. Prittis gathers it for the Eagles. Gives it off now to Brown, who kicks into the middle of the ground to McGovern, who jungles the mark. And with 29 and a half minutes gone, handed over to you, BT, to call the doggies home. 46 points their lead.
McGovern got around one, went for the all or nothing out wide to Darling. Got to take the mark. G. Boyd sat him on his backside, so he won't get that one either. Cordy went and got the footy, handball to Picken. So this is going to be an historic win here for the Western Bulldogs. Handling was tackled to the ground, dispossessed, and he's been pinged for holding the ball. But it will not matter.
Who cares?
Huge win. Dogs win the second elimination final and will now play either Geelong or Hawthorn. And they have done what many people thought was impossible, to win over here at Domain against a team that was in red-hot form, against the top contenders. But they have got it done, Dale Lewis and Andrew Embley, in fine style.
Yeah, it's outstanding. And hats off to Luke Beveridge to get him to regroup. They kicked 6 goals here a fortnight ago against Fremantle. And they had injuries and they'd lost hope in everybody else's eyes except yours, PT. Yeah. And they have now come out here and served notice that you do not want to be the loser of the Hawthorn-Geelong game tomorrow night.
No. So, intriguing game. Came with a plan, as Andrew Embley and Dale Lewis mentioned a couple of times throughout the night. Executed that to about probably 80%. And the Eagles just couldn't get runs going. In fact, they only kicked consecutive goals, I think, once in the game. They were the first 2 of the game. The Eagles, let's have a listen to Dix. courtesy of Channel 7.
Super happy, and we worked pretty hard this week, so it's good to see it come off.
2 weeks ago you came to this ground and had a loss. Clearly you put a lot of time and effort in, because from the very first bounce your pressure all over the ground was outstanding.
Yeah, well, that's finals footy. I mean, the Eagles really brought the pressure as well. That's finals footy, I guess. You really attack the contest and you really work your bum off. So I suppose the boys have done that and we got the victory, which is nice.
It's clear that you've got great spirit. You've got some really good older players, experienced players, but a good generation of young players like yourself, Luke Dalhouse as well, Hamling down back, and plenty more. Pretty exciting times at the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's very good. I mean, the old fellas stand up in the times, and so do the young boys. So, I mean, yeah, we're all wrapped at the moment.
Congratulations, mate. Well done.
So Caleb Daniel there, 33 possessions, courtesy of Channel 7. We thank them for the audio. Pretty excited young man, leading possession getter on the ground for the Western Bulldogs. Gaff had 35, which is pretty good effort. So
all the officials just getting in on it, the travelling band.
Now Rowan Smith down there just clapping the supporters. I would have thought, Smithy, that might be a player-driven thing, and you probably don't need to get involved with it. Yes, you're thanking them, and that's a good thing, but probably leave that to the players, I would have thought. You just go in the rooms and pick the team for next week. Robert Murphy down there as well.
Yeah, Bob's there, and I'll tell you what, they spoke about it, just coming across and just causing an upset. Dogs v the world, Bristol.
Yeah, absolutely, and they have done a great job. Look at Luke Beveridge down there. He's gone and...
Mark Stevens is even down there giving thumbs up to the support group. A little bit of wobble going on for Stevo. Check it out.
Yeah, look at him.
Yeah,
Stevo walking with the group like he's part of the official group.
Well, he felt confident pre-game, didn't he?
Oh,
felt like the Dogs were up and about.
Look at him.
Stevo down there, but really Luke Beveridge has come back and congratulated each one of the trainers out there individually, which is a great effort, doesn't forget anyone, and now a few of the supporters as well. But I'm shocked by Mark Stevens on the green stuff. He's down there waving to the crowd. Let's go down to Matty Boyd.
Victory.
Yeah, it was a really tough night. We knew it was going to be, appropriate crowd here in Perth, 2 travels in a couple of weeks, and we knew it was going to be tough, but I thought we brought the right intensity, the right mindset from the word go.
It's an interesting one, wasn't it? Before the game, we were talking about 5 players in, plus Suckling he's missed 3 weeks or so, but it's just turned out beautifully, and the guys who came in all performed.
They did. They really played well. All of them on limited preparation. I think it's a credit to our medical staff and conditioning staff to get those boys right. But we knew as soon as they came in, they were 100% to go. So no excuses once you cross that white line, and they were fantastic.
I've spoken about spirit with Caleb as well, but the spirit of your football club to just continue to pick up when there's been injuries, that's been a feature this year.
Yeah, it's quite a remarkable group to be involved with. Through all the adversity we've been through this year with injuries and other circumstances, we've become tighter, and you need to be tight to come over here and win in a final.
I know you want to get in there and celebrate with your teammates. I'll just ask you one more question. How far can you go?
We don't put a ceiling on what we can achieve. We haven't, this year, and we won't do that again. If we play like that, who knows how far you can go.
Good luck, Woody. Good on you.
So Matty Boyd there, game 279 for him, and a lot of the parents and families have come over, the players on the plane today, with Jake Stringer's parents as well, in fact. So some very, very excited supporters, and Matty Boyd not putting a ceiling on how far they can go.
No, nor should he. Their best footy when they're on top of the game, and we saw it for the opening 16 rounds of this season, despite the injuries, is contested footy. And if they win it and they come with that manic pressure, Embers, like they did tonight, no team is going to feel safe with that around the footy, because they always will and have, like tonight. There was enough opportunity to score. Their slingshot tonight was as first class and better than Adelaide's, what I've seen all year.
Starts in the source, and this is an area where West Coast have struggled to match it with the Dogs in the past, and again today, contested possessions 162 to 139. They were just brilliant in there. They were really slick with their handballs in close. I thought their pressure all night for 4 quarters were outstanding. Their intensity didn't drop off whatsoever, and they had a lot of players with some big numbers. Caleb Daniel, outstanding, 33 touches. Dalhouse, we spoke about him, not just finding the football, but his pressure and his ability to be able to push forward and kick a really important goal as well. Boyd across half-back, Hunter, Johannesson, McRae, they just had a lot of players finding a lot of football tonight, and they need to be congratulated. An outstanding effort.
This is the footy review for DeWalt, guaranteed tough and available at Bunnings Warehouse.
You mentioned Luke Beveridge getting around all the trainers down there. Hats off to the Bulldogs medical team and the individuals themselves, because What did you say with Libba? 5 to 10% chance to get back to play finals.
Yep.
But a cracking game of footy tonight.
Great effort. Had the syndesmosis in the ankle. They didn't think he'd get back. They weren't even sure that what they did would get him back. It has, and he's played well. Let's get down to Tanya Armstrong in the Dogs' rooms. Tanya.
Jubilation for the Western Bulldogs. They're just coming into the rooms now, embracing all the support staff, assistant coaches. This will be a very loud rendition of the song. Just gathering in the huddle now.
So what are the scenes like down there, Tanya?
Yeah, they're all embracing Jake Stringer by the look of it in the middle of that huddle. Luke Beveridge going around just hugging a few people one at a time. He's got his arms around Jordan Roughhead. Bob Murphy's here as well. So, yeah, a lot of family and friends. Complete and utter jubilation. There's a few tears of joy from the wives and girlfriends. They'll celebrate this, I guess, for a little while, and then it's eyes on next week, and not for the West Coast Eagles.
Any sign of Jong down there?
I can't see him at this stage. He did have his right arm in a shoulder. We'll try and get an update on that injury, but unfortunately for him, looks like his season is definitely over.
Yeah, it looked like he either broken collarbone or shoulder, but it did look like the shoulder had popped out for Jong, so maybe a chance to get back next week. Depends whether it's something that he's had for a while and it pops in and out, or whether it's something new. If it's new, he's unlikely to get back, I would have thought.
Yeah, those things are very hard. Just looking at those scenes, Embers, you've won the ultimate one, but there's no better place to be than in a change room of footy club after a big win, let alone a big finals win.
To come to Perth against the West Coast Eagles, who had a really good second half of the year. No one gave Western Bulldogs a chance. And they came over here and they took it up to the Eagles, and they beat the Eagles at their own game. Their pressure was outstanding. They forced the Eagles into the turnover. They were able to win the football across half-back. They were able to go really quick. They had options inside their forward 50, and they just put the West Coast Eagles to the sword. They came with a game plan. We spoke about that. They came with gusto, and certainly by the sound of that song that was sung in the rooms, it meant a lot to them, the Dogs.
I want to talk about Caleb Daniel. This little man, he's a South Australian kid, was one of the best players in the National Carnival the year before prior to the draft, and he slipped pretty deep. And everybody sort of wondered and wondered whether he was going to be able to handle the heat of the footy.
Well, because of his size.
Just a little wee man he is. There was no question about the ability to win footy, find footy, tough footy, everything else, but it was just a question mark whether he was going to be big enough to stay. Well, I reckon that is a nice little message to the Rising Star panel, and over to you, Callum Mills. See whether you can serve something up like that on a big stage, because that young man, along with this man, Dalhouse, is getting talked to down in the rooms at the moment. They've got a fleet of little blokes that just bring pressure all night, and they're about tackling before getting a kick first, which is first-rate coaching.
This is the footy preview for DeWalt Guaranteed Tough and available at Bunnings Warehouse. By the way, the Triple M Petters Performance Star Best on Ground Award. Petters, the experts in undercar, no bull. Between you guys, if I gave you 2 picks each, what would you tell me?
Can I just tell you, Mark Stevens is just loitering in the back of the TV shot.
Yes, we know that.
He's got to stop.
He's no good.
He's got to stop. Embers, you go.
Caleb Daniel, outstanding. 33 touches, 8 inside 50s. Was able to find the football forward to centre. Kicked a really important goal too. I thought he was best on ground for mine.
Toss in Dalhouse, and I reckon Lockie Hunter has taken his game to an unbelievable level.
For Rick Chattel, NBN Broadband, all of our post-game interviews, we thank them as well. By the way, Herald Sun Supercoach player points update, please, Louis.
Thanks, Bruce. I'll just cross studio.
Or Lockie.
Go, Lockie. Go.
Do
Do
something. Say
As
something,
expected, Bulldogs dominating. 128 to Luke Dalhouse. 122 Carl Daniel.
Been set up a couple of times tonight, haven't we?
It's my moment.
Yeah,
Sorry, speak quiet. 117 for Luke Schuer. He was in third position. 114 Liam Picking. 111 Tom Liberatore, and Lockie Hunter with 106, Andrew Gaff 103. They were the best of the group.
Every week head to afl.com.au and place your vote for the Coates Hire Goal of the Year. Any goals of the year tonight, Louis, that come to mind just off the top of your
I'll tell you the one. Little Daniels one early. Little flat barrel from about 50. Really got the game rolling along. And I did like Big Ruff, who just took a nice contested mark mark, hit the ground running and really iced it.
Yeah, I was about to say that one. On McGovern too, and that's what we spoke about, the big forwards from the Western Bulldogs tonight, making the Eagles defenders accountable. And we saw that big rough coming out, took a really good grab, and then just played on quickly. Left McGovern in his weight and kicked a really good goal from outside 50.
So where does this leave the West Coast Eagles? What do they need? Was it just the fact they played poorly tonight, or are they is there an ingredient that they are missing that they need to find?
Well, the depth through their midfield is a real concern for mine, and the reason why they've been able to improve, in my opinion, the second half of the year is because they've got some really good assistance out of Dom Sheed. We spoke about that. Hutchins has been a bit better. Chris Marston's been a bit better. Yo, I still think needs to give a lot more, but there's just so much reliance on Gaff and Shuey and Matty Pritter. So they had a really off night tonight, the West Coast Eagles. No doubt their forward line is very potent. Jack Darling, he's going to have a really long summer, no doubt about that. He's had another poor final, so he needs to really look at that. Their back line's pretty solid, no doubt about that. I think Barras has been a real find for the West Coast Eagles tonight. He's only played a handful of games, but I tell you what, he looks like he's played 100-plus games. Mitch Brown coming to the side tonight, I think, was probably a bad move.
Just seeing Tony Liberatore down in the rooms as well with Danny Southern down there. Let's get down to the room. Speaking of the rooms, Tanya Armstrong is down there. You've got a guest, Tanya.
I have Marcus Bontham-Kelly. He wanted to have a sit down after that one. What a win for the Western Bulldogs. You came here, not many people gave you a chance. You must have had huge belief, though, amongst this group.
Yeah, we do. I think that belief's shown all throughout the year. So it came to the fore in the big game at the back end of the year, and I'm just really proud of these boys in here tonight.
Marcus, Brian Taylor up here with Dale Lewis and Andrew Embley and Lockie Reid. Just Lynn Jong, first of all. I know that's a good note that you've won tonight, and congratulations on that. But have you had an opportunity to speak with him?
Yeah, I think he's a bit sore, to be honest. I'm not 100% sure on the diagnosis, but we'll probably just have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. But yeah, I can't really tell you, to be honest. I'm not 100% sure. He's a bit sore.
Matty Boyd, All-Australian last week, turns in a sensational performance leading again tonight.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise us. Matty keeps winding back the clock. He's an incredible leader for us, particularly in that back line, and his experience just showed tonight. You're just so confident when he's around and when he's got the ball in his hand. He's a great leader of men.
Bont, you're going to love a man with a plan. Luke Beveridge, he's just loaded you boys up. You went out there, executed, and just the pressure, mate, the heat was just outstanding right from the word go.
Yeah, we wanted to get back to our best pressure, and we have been wanting to get there probably for the last 4 or 5 weeks throughout the back end of the year, and it just hasn't been right for us. So I feel like tonight it culminated, and we really got back to that Bulldog pressure, I think, that we were known for. So I think it's obvious that it helped us get the win tonight.
Bont, Andrew Embley, you came here a couple of weeks ago, and fair to say, from your team perspective, it was very ordinary. You had a couple of weeks to have a really good think about what you wanted to do, and as Louis mentioned, you came with a plan tonight. You executed that plan. I thought your pressure for 4 quarters was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, we did. We obviously didn't get things right in that Fremantle game, and we were fortunate that we were probably having to come back here in a week in a bit's time. So we got to put some good training in and really train the principles probably that were a bit different to playing on this ground compared to an MCG or an Etihad, and I think we just put that together tonight. We knew how we wanted to play. The pressure was a big part of it, but I think in all phases of the game we sort of got it right.
Hey, Bont, Libba, 5 to 10% chance of even looking like playing, let alone running and playing well. Unbelievable, that young man.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. We look at Libba the same probably as we do Matty Boyd down here. He's so reliable, and he makes us probably stand that little bit taller with his tenacity, his ferocity, and he's really well liked amongst the boys. So we love playing with Libba, and we look like a much better team when he's in there.
Bont, Lockie Reid, you're speaking about Libba and also his teammate McRae, who came in 41 days they hadn't played for. What did they do in the build-up to that to get to this stage and run through a game and get to the end?
Oh, it's a credit to them and all the staff we've got down here, that they just timed it so well, and they weren't, they were pushing it, but they weren't going probably over the limit. We needed to really time it well, and we were fortunate probably for the bye. A few others clubs probably wouldn't have been maybe as happy with it, but we certainly needed it, and it gave those 2 blokes and a few others, Easton Wood and Jordan Ruffhead, a chance to play, and they've all had a massive say in today's game.
Last one before we let you go, Marcus. It feels like, and it looks like you've all brought family and friends over. Is that the case?
We have, yeah. We were probably small in numbers here tonight, but the voice was certainly there, and I've no doubt that got the boys up a tiny bit, and it's great that we can we can celebrate this small milestone throughout the year with all our friends and family, and we know we want to take this, and that's a couple of weeks further.
All right, appreciate your time, Marcus. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, thanks guys.
Congratulations for the win. Extel NBN Broadband, all of our post-game interviews there, and that was the superstar Marcus Bonampelli, who, by the way, I reckon just showed some signs in the last quarter of leadership, being able to step up. Remember the big goal he kicked from outside 50? Looked pretty good, didn't he?
21 touches and a goal, and you'd say it was far from his best game for the season. So for a 20-year-old to be able to stand up in a final and have those numbers, and by his own perspective, he would have said, listen, I was down tonight, but he just grinded his way, and he was a contributor in the end. He had an impact.
There were more scenes down there. Jong in tears again. The biggest story is he played his last game for the Western Bulldogs. We know what he went throughout the year with the Collingwood Footy Club and meeting with them.
I think he's already committed elsewhere.
Yeah, you would assume so, given what's transpired.
That's
and
an emotional finish, isn't it?
Yeah, not the way you want to go out. Tell you what, though, they are just a side that's going to get built on these little... I love these little blokes, Bruce. You know the characters of the game. Caleb Daniel... Dalhouse, you go down. Hunter's not big.
Yeah, no, he's not.
He's got some wee men running around out there. Little Clay Smith's not overly big as well. Libber's not big. Picken's not big, but he's got the heart of Farlap. They play above their size, and they just want to scrap. And they wanted it. And even when they lost on terms just before half-time, they went in again just to try and get a little psychological win over the Eagles just from a push and shove.
How far can they go, Louis?
Oh, the big one for me is how does Liberatore, McRae, Eastonwood, all those boys, and Stringer even, how do they all pull up? Because you're always all right first up, Brice, from a spell. It's the second one.
I reckon they can beat Geelong, but I'm not sure they can beat the Hawks, the Bulldogs. I reckon Geelong will be a little...
Why do you say that, BT?
Windy with them. I just reckon Geelong are a little bit more of an outside team. Hawthorn a little bit more inside team. You know, Dogs play inside.
They can dominate the Hawks on the inside. To their strength, whereas the Cats get them on the outside, they might get done for speed. I'm really worried that 2 trips to here in a fortnight, big, hard final, a handful of blokes sore, real sore. They may struggle to bounce back up, but I'm so glad they won a final for their development under Beveridge to keep going forward each year, and they've had a horror run with injury too.
Well, that's it for us here tonight. Don't forget tomorrow from 6, the Friday Rub boys will be back. Big game at the MCG, Geelong and Hawthorn. Can't wait for that. That's your next Triple M appointment. That's all you have to worry about. Thanks to the team here, led by Tom in production, of course, Andrew Embley, Dale Lewis, Lockie Reid. Thank you, Locke. Tanya Armstrong down the room, done a fantastic job. To everyone involved, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed your team winning tonight. The Western Bulldogs getting over the top of the West Coast Eagles by 47 points, 14-15-99 to West Coast 7-10-52. From McDonald's, Triple M rocks. Finals footy.